All right, we're probably live on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Tonight is a historic event. Very historic. And I need to close that curtain, so...
I'll close it.
He's got it.
Oh, you guys are live. Look at that.
The stress level is through the roof. Through the roof.
Now, you don't have an automatic Twitter post saying that you're live. Is that true?
I think it... Yeah,
We
it
don't
does.
have anything
It
automatic.
goes... Yeah. It does. It does.
Let's see here.
I'll check this one more time here.
Wow.
All right. What was I going to do now to start this show? I had an idea.
Play the intro?
Yeah, I was going to play an intro.
You're hired.
Yeah. I'm like that guy who pulls the coach back from crossing the sidelines.
Okay, so we are not... We're live in studio. We have Carleezy is here. He's our first in-studio guest for a long time, and Earl has got the snots, and he can't control his mic because of the way we switch things around. So we are not live on any network tonight, but we will be next week, and we're going to start the show right now.
Wait a minute.
What?
If you're watching YouTube,
Check.
we are about to be alive on this network because I'm about to put the link to YouTube on the network.
Oh, okay. Well, in a roundabout way, we are going to be live.
Yes,
Nice.
but yes.
Dude.
Okay, here we go. We're going to start the show in 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I was born an original sinner. I was born from original sin. And if I had a dollar bill for all the things I've done, there'd be a mountain of money piled up to my chin.
Guess what, shift heads? It's time for the Leroy and Earl show.
You're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show on the Bent Radio Network.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the show. I am Leroy,
And I'm Earl.
And I'm
and
Tuna.
as always, Tuna, and say hello, Carleezy.
I'm Carleezy.
He's Carleezy live in the studio tonight.
Good evening.
There he is, right there, as you can see him. And
Hello, Carleezy.
I feel like a real, what's his name? Guillermo? The guy from Jimmy Kimmel? The Latino guy?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep, about him.
That's you.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. The major thing is
What?
Saturday. I woke up. I'm gonna have to turn a little bit so I can
Okay.
talk to you.
Okay.
Saturday, I woke up, and I had an email from Mike at our former podcast network, which we all know the name.
Is this name really Mike?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
no, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I don't even know who I'm fighting with.
The guy that hosts one of the shows on that network, which is called Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks, ironically, is also the owner of Strange Label, I believe.
Okay.
They've never communicated with us enough to
I like that.
To verify
I don't mean
that.
to interrupt, but
Nice.
nice.
we are on a network.
We are
Boys.
live. Sorry, we are live on the Bent Radio Network via YouTube.
Last minute save.
I don't know how
like
that
it.
works, but Earl, well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that, but we got to start this story at the beginning.
Yes.
We got to start the story at the beginning.
Wait a minute. Don't we need the show was brought to you by
Well, why don't you do that?
if you go to bentradio.net, just like it sounds, and scroll to the bottom, you'll see our sponsors there. First one being ohioessentials.com, second one being discountwheelies.com, and basically they pay for everything that goes on here. And if we could get some more sponsors, we might be able to get stuff that actually works.
We will.
Or hire somebody.
I have a feeling this thing's going to blow up at this point. It's
I
gonna
have
blow
a
up.
surprised it didn't blow up
Like
tonight physically.
Stick of dynamite.
Carleezy made it here through the sub-zero Arctic temperatures and the
terrible.
no salt on my driveway.
It was great.
Driveway looks like Lake Placid.
Don't know why.
Carleezy wants to know in his Twitter poll on his Twitter account. What's your Twitter?
Yes. So I have a Twitter poll right now, and the question is, should I wash my car tonight?
Now,
And,
tell them where you're from and what the temperature is, because some people might not be from Akron, Ohio.
Right. I'm not from Akron, Ohio, but I love Akron, LeBron James,
Go-
home of
Go Brownie.
graham crackers and home of
Rubber.
rubber ducks. Yes. Yes,
Rubbers.
the rubber ducks. From Kent, Ohio. Close from here, 25 minutes.
What's the weather like in Kent?
Negative 27, real feel, something like that.
That's the wind chill.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
right.
the real feel's like, what, -1 probably.
Enough that your hose is going to be pretty rock hard, right?
What
It's
hose?
possible.
No, your garden hose. The other hose is going to be shriveled up and disappeared, I'm sure, in this
Yes,
weather.
very much so. And frostbite.
Okay, hey,
All right, where-
anyways, back to the
Where were we?
subject of
Okay,
the-
so Saturday I got up and I got an email from Mike from Strange Label. I said it. I was gonna not say it the whole night, but I did. All right, I
Let's
said
start
it.
over.
Strange Label. Let's
Say
start.
Start
the
over.
S
over.
word.
Well, we're gonna have to say it anyway.
All
So,
right, do the intro.
Yeah,
so I
okay.
got an email that said, and I should have brought it up so I could read it word for word, but it was very, very to the point. And keep in mind, for those that don't know our relationship with Strange Label, they were a podcast network. We've been on their network with them for 3 years. Now
Cumulative,
we didn't broadcast for about 9 months of that. So we're
Uh-huh.
looking at 2 years and 2 months or something like that. So years,
long enough that
years.
we should know them, right?
years, yeah. We've had very little communications with them. They've really treated us like their redheaded bastard stepchild, which
Jeez.
I found entertaining. I didn't care. I was all right.
Yeah,
with
we
it.
loved it.
I was fine with it. Fine with it.
We actually, one thing about us is we like inner fighting and stuff because we know it pulls listeners.
Right. And we'll get to that later too. That a lot of the stuff that we do here is on purpose and is planned. So anyway, I get this email. It says, "Hi guys, we've come to the determination that your show isn't a good fit with the network. Rather than continuing down the same path, we feel it's best to cut ties. Best wishes in the future." That's it.
That's nice. Best wishes.
It's very nice, but after 2.5 years, let's call it, of broadcasting on their network and very faithfully promoting their network, always saying when we're going live and when we're not going live on social media, which I know all the other podcasts didn't do. I expected a reason, right? Am I
Yeah.
overreacting?
And after 2 years, I wish they would have told us we were still on probation. I didn't even know. I didn't know this was a trial period.
Right?
Oh,
Well,
there was a probation.
No,
well,
there's
you think
not.
they would have known
Oh.
that we weren't a good fit 2 years ago when they heard our first episode.
Well, my first thought was this email was sent out 2.5 years ago, and it's just now getting here. That's
That's possible.
That's what I figured was the first. And okay, so I emailed him. My first email was, "You're joking, right?" I'm thinking this is a joke. That I'm thinking they're finally biting.
Hmm.
They're finally going to play with us, and you know what I mean?
Because if you don't know it, we got rid of the shtick recently. So
Right.
That's right.
Which is weird because they hated the shtick. I thought they hated it, and I figured.
yeah,
So it was like, well, okay, so this has got that. They're messing with us. I'm figuring they're messing with us. So he doesn't respond. So I emailed him back. Finally, I said, after all this time that we've supported and promoted Strange Label, I believe you at least owe us an explanation. Still no response. Nothing. Now, I have a tendency to overreact.
No.
Yes. Yes. So it may have only been like a half an hour
Mm.
that he hadn't responded yet,
Ah.
but it felt like long enough.
an eternity.
If for something like this, which maybe we think more of it than he does. Maybe he doesn't even give a crap about it anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe he's tired of doing this. They've been doing this for like 6 or 8 years. But anyway, so I decided to take it to Twitter because I was getting mad at this point.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's the correct beef start.
Right,
point.
that's what I figured. So I basically tagged every single person in Strange Label, every podcast, and everybody I could fit, and put up the email, the picture, and says, "Is this for real?" So, and I got to go back. When I thought it was a joke, I actually thought it might have been a joke, and I thought, cool. And then Tuna texted and said, "We're off the website,"
Mm.
and that's when I
That
knew
was quick.
it wasn't a joke. So
That was quick, clean cut
right. So now that brings
That's,
us to
tonight.
it brings us to he did respond that WFOD will be full of dicks.
So he's in Woofod, right?
Woofod, yeah.
Woofod clan?
Yes. Woofod.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I thought he was Lotus Cast because I know Lotus Cast hates us.
They're not the same, but they're tight. I think they actually know each other, I think.
Okay.
At least, if not, they've been together for years on this network.
Wasn't it Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks that just a couple days earlier said I would be on the Leroy and Earl show.
That was the Lotus Cast.
Oh, okay.
And anytime the Lotus Cast ever replied to us, I would always reply with some smart-ass answer to try and goad them, right? So when he said I'd be on the Leroy and Earl show, I said, I bet you would.
Which,
So-
if you're listening, they're probably not in spite, but if you guys are, we actually never disliked you or any of you.
I loved the network. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, that's why I was so mad and hurt that they just dumped us like this. So now we get to, he posts on the blog on their website a response after all this went on Twitter, which I personally think he wasn't going to do anything except until I made a stink. Okay. So he might be sitting there saying, because he says, I'm going to read it here. We're going to go through this line by line.
Again.
So again,
Need a
scared.
drink.
well, we can move it along.
Don't forget, Carleezy's our guest here.
He is our guest.
We didn't hire him because of this, okay?
Yeah,
Hired.
yeah. That's the other thing. Once we read this and you know why we were kicked off the network.
Do you know why we were kicked off?
Yeah, I follow
Okay.
the whole thing. I follow you on Twitter.
Okay.
So-
So I mean, they probably think that we hired a token black guy.
I
to
know
come in
exactly.
and-
We did
but
not.
this was already planned,
He-
right?
I scheduled him over a month ago.
Am I really Carleezy? Maybe my name's Rick.
Rick, maybe
Whatever you want to be called. I'm confused.
Darrell.
Darrell.
Remember Darrell?
Darrell. Yes.
Darrell,
That
Leroy's cousin.
ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Bell.
So say my name's Darrell.
My name is Darrell.
Oh, that didn't work. Let me try it again.
You gotta
what are
put. You
trying to
gotta
do
put
to
a
me?
motherfucker.
No.
What
right
am I-
after.
what
it.
am-
Now say it again.
My name is
Darrell.
Darrell. Oh my God.
Scary.
Jesus. Holy cow.
So
You
anyway.
have the power.
So we got Leroy and Darrell's here tonight.
I'm Leroy.
I'm Darrell.
I'm Darrell.
Are you
Okay.
on her?
All right. So anyway, let me read this. It all started with Cameron Reedy. Now this is his blog that he posted
On a WordPress, right?
on WordPress. That's
so
where
official.
that's where they host their show, and it's entitled "The Whole Leroy and Earl Thing," which I found amusing.
Thing.
The whole
We're
Leroy
not
and
just
Earl
a
thing.
thing,
Right.
Mike.
Yeah. It all started with Cameron Reedy. At least that's how I remember it. Cameron Reedy was and is this goofball on Twitter who told people he was a stand-up comedian looking to book guest spots on podcasts. I got one such message on the Strange Label account, and not having any interest in speaking to Mr. Reedy myself, passed the offer along to everyone else.
Oh, he's so high and mighty
Right.
already.
So, Strange Label's Twitter account is regularly offered guests. I will post them here, and if you, this is what I'm not going to read that because that's part of a picture. But anyway, there's a lot of comments about Pod Cheese, which is a show on Strange Label, invited Cameron on their show. He then, in a lot of ways, became the primary focus of their show. They loved the guy. So that's how Leroy and Earl got on our radar, which I don't remember how it happened.
I don't remember
So
if
I
they were
can't-
before Reedy or after.
I remember I'm pretty sure we were already on the network, and we were just on there because I had been corresponding with Benny from Pod Cheese, who said he loved our show, our original incarnation
okay.
of the show. He recommended this Cameron Reedy come on our show. So either way, they also accepted the Cameron Reedy self-invitation. Benny from Pod Cheese listened to every Cameron Reedy interview. Benny heard Leroy and Earl. Either he invited them to be a part of our network, or their interaction with him prompted them to ask us for consideration. Benny liked them, being us, so we put them on. Now that I think about it, that's how it happened. I had somehow been talking with Benny. He suggested this guy. I think we had Cameron on before we were on Strange Label. So I do believe Mike is right about that. So fast forward a while.
High and mighty Mike.
Fast forward a while later, and they quit doing their show. That's us, Leroy and Earl. In the time they were on, no one really talked to them. That might be partially our fault. Matt, Chuck had them, not me, Matt, Chuck, I guess, had them on the Lotus Cast to welcome them, and that appearance rubbed both parties the wrong way. Now, let me tell you, first of all, I don't remember being welcomed. I don't remember anybody from Strange Label
No.
saying, hey, come on our show, we want to say hi and welcome you to the family. I think we butted into their show. I think we
called
did that.
them?
We called them, and I have that recording, and we're going to listen to it.
Yeah, I think you're
It's
right
a
about
classic.
that.
It's a classic.
So, well, I was going to blame them for how they took the call, but I guess I can't blame them because the stick didn't translate into phone. You
Well,
can't Leroy and Earl, the old voices, can't call a phone and it sound good. Well, if we called unannounced,
You're missing
that's
something.
our fault.
I don't think we did unannounce. I think they knew we were calling. I believe this has been 3 years ago.
I thought you
Carleezy.
just
Long
said the
time.
opposite. Sorry.
No, what I'm saying is, it wasn't.
You told them we were calling like right now, or
I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
okay. So
I don't remember either way.
for-
But what you did say was wrong. It wasn't that our voices. They screwed up something with their audio where they couldn't hear us at all.
Oh,
Or we
I
couldn't hear
remember
them.
That.
We couldn't hear them. We're going to hear that.
Which I just spent 3 hours doing myself, so I can't blame them for that either.
No, I'm not. But what the way they treated us wasn't. Should we listen to it?
yeah,
Do it.
obviously,
I want to hear this.
it's shitty because
Admit what
Question.
things are
Question.
and move on. Like it's just not.
Can you turn up the YouTube?
and that's it.
Turn up the YouTube.
Yeah, my wife can't hear me or anyone. It's so
Aw,
sad.
Oh, my-
watching you be
She's
famous.
watching. She can't hear
Mother.
us.
Okay, I'm trying to turn it up. I don't know if I am. So.
Uh-oh. Well, her ears are probably blasted if you actually turn it
Yeah.
up.
Check. So, all right. Well, tell her to
Okay,
let us
sorry.
know if it goes up.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to listen to this clip. What are you doing?
Uh-oh.
Possible.
I'm gonna
And
listen to
it's
YouTube on my phone.
Bye, Roman.
so.
Hello.
What the fuck is this?
Jeez.
It's a robot.
I'm Earl.
Hello, I'm Leroy.
Who the hell's on the other line?
Is this what they're
Is
doing?
this a sex line?
No, this can't be the thing.
This is the phone call that we're getting.
No.
This is how we know they are podcasters, because they could probably hear us right now and possibly even see us, but we can't hear them.
We know that they're actual podcasters because their gear's all screwed up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, anyway, this is Leroy from Leroy and Earl's Pitch
Is
Shift.
this what we're?
And
No,
we just wanted to
Leroy-
talk with you guys.
Leroy
I
and
don't know,
Earl.
Joe might have his
Hold on,
own
hold on. Everybody
network
stop for a
soon.
second. Leroy,
And
right,
yeah,
listen.
so you can hear us.
here's the deal.
hopefully.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hopefully, or they can't.
No, you got.
Hang up on us if you can't hear us.
Stop. Everybody fucking
Then
stop
Oh.
right now.
Anyways, I'm Earl.
They might not be able to hear us.
Earl, can you hear us?
And we're the next big thing in podcasting, other than you guys, of course.
Obviously
you guys
not.
are the best.
Can you hear us?
Quit
Can you
sucking
hear us
their
at all?
dick, man.
No, they can't.
Please.
I don't know why. This is
You
on
got us
the
on
right
mute.
thing.
I'm just trying to be diplomatic.
You're being diplomatic, man. Please.
Who the
We're
fuck
not
are
even on
these
a crew
people?
yet. You've been
No, it's
chosen
the,
the most
That's the
time.
right
You haven't
thing,
been able to
from
talk about anything on our podcast.
Shake and
The whole night you've been
Aqua
fucking.
Teen Hunger Force, the
Well, I
little the
thought it
moon
was pretty
people,
cool,
the moon people.
Oh
They
my
ha-
God,
they just
we
hung-
don't
they
have
hung
to
up.
do it.
They just hung up.
Do they do their podcast through voice changers?
Do you like scary movies?
Everything's plugged in. I don't know why they couldn't hear us. That
Yeah,
was the
I'm
fucking
looking at the
weirdest thing
level
ever.
in the microphone, and it's
Did it?
bouncing.
Yeah,
so
it's
they
weird.
could have heard us had they.
Stop talking.
Yeah,
So it's them.
it's
not
them,
us?
and then they
Shit.
just hung up. So
That was
Yeah, they blamed
really
it on
fucking
us.
weird.
Oh, they're the Moonanites. They sound
They were the
like
Moonanites. Yeah, they're bombs.
This is
Moon
supposed to be Leroy
Yeah,
and
it
Earl.
probably was pre-recorded.
Leroy and Earl is supposed to be another show from
The future.
They want to join us on
Which it could have been us.
strangelabel.com.
I mean, I hope they don't always use voice changers. That sound horrible.
Oh.
I know. What the fuck?
it was
Oh, this is
terrible.
a good idea.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think
Can
that
we
was
do a show
pre-recorded.
where we just
it did
have
sound pre-recorded.
voice changers?
Can we
Everybody
just,
sounds
just
different.
auto-tune the whole show?
Yeah.
I suppose we could.
Up a little more with the YouTube.
It's all the way up.
Not going to. That's way too
You
much
think that
work.
was pre-recorded?
I think it was
We'll
pre-recorded.
try it.
They
It seemed
just
pre-recorded.
called and played that.
Yeah, it seemed pre-recorded.
It did
We're-
sound.
Otherwise,
It-
why wouldn't they hear
No,
us?
I mean they had
Right.
voice changers, but like they did comment
It's
about
very,
like
it's
the-
very pre-planned. They have.
That
yeah,
seemed very
that
Joey
comment that they
Foreman.
were talking about would have been pre-planned ahead of time. Like we're gonna play this segment of the show
They talked
because
about
they were
the
talking
wire,
about how they couldn't
wires
hear
and
us and how
cords
we were a
being-
terrible podcast because
Right.
like we are a podcast. You can tell that we're a podcast because
Right.
we couldn't talk to them.
Right.
But
we
they're the
know
only
we were working.
yeah.
So it's just.
Oh, are they saying because it's a podcast and not a live show?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is that what they thought?
They thought we were a podcast.
I don't think that's what they
I
meant.
don't.
No, they're
what,
like you can tell we're talking to a podcast because none of their shit is working.
What
Right.
was that?
That it's on their end.
No,
Our
I'm,
shit
just,
is
I'm
working.
really. I'm
Does
That's
it
why
get
it's still
better?
recorded.
perplexed as
Or
to what happened. What just
It
happened?
was them trying to be funny.
They're live on their
Yes.
show. We are live on our show.
We'll be
and
back
they thought,
on
like,
here in a
maybe we
second.
can just like
Where are
cross
they live?
I
Because they're not on
I don't
Strange
know.
Label, so
Give
they
me-
can't be live.
Give me your.
They're not allowed to be
info on
live
it.
before they're on our network.
No, I mean
They're probably just live somewhere.
We're
Maybe
roasting
they're
you
live on
guys.
speaker. I don't
What
know.
the hell is their name?
Yeah, they are roasting us, aren't they?
Yeah.
It gets it. We come back on here and they can hear us. So
Yeah, I'm only getting pissed, so let's
I don't
hurry
know
up.
their
with this.
info.
You
Okay.
killed yourself saying
What-
I
Of
can't
course,
hear you.
I
Yeah,
think
what's,
that's
their,
the
what's their name? I'll look them
What
up.
is their name? I have no idea what their show is.
I don't
So,
know
Matt,
anything.
did they
I don't
get-
know what just happened.
Did they get the gig or what?
I've no. Dude, I
Apparently
don't
not.
know what happened. Like I really don't. They came on to pre-record it, but they told me that they were going to call in live, and then
Right,
they didn't.
that's the joke.
$50
But
says
what's the
Thunder
joke?
Nuts.
The joke is
Triple
that they were
J.
just trying to mess us up for 5 minutes.
They
But-
called in and played their retort.
Well over
Yeah,
5
that's,
minutes.
that's the
it.
joke.
That's the joke.
Yeah, that seems like a joke to me.
All right.
And I wouldn't hate. I wouldn't hate that.
The funny joke.
Honestly, the only reason I hate that is because of the voice changers. I can't stand voice changers. I don't think it's funny at all.
I don't understand
Jeez.
what just happened.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I agree with
No.
him.
All right. Well, okay.
The only one that I like is Always Sunny.
No,
when Dennis
you know
is
who loves the
abusing
voice
people.
changer?
Always Sunny.
Of course it is.
No, I feel like I can't call them back. It's from an unlisted number.
Of course.
Michelle.
That was
Is
amazing.
this going to happen soon? Because this is getting boring.
Was it
Yes.
Kazoo.
It's only 40 seconds left.
Oh boy.
Wait, what is this?
That's my phone.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I
They
don't
got
know.
10 people in there, and they got a law.
I don't know. All right. Well,
That was
Wow.
strange.
guys,
totally off the rails now.
Yeah.
Strangelabel.com.
We just budgeted a
We'll
half
just have
hour
to talk
for
about me now.
Potentially, there's a show called Leroy and Earl, but they also might be fake, like our very own Joey Thundernuts.
I'm not
so,
fake.
Joe set the whole thing up.
Yeah, I would go out of my way to email the station, and be like, I got a
Well,
fake,
I
got a
mean,
fake show,
You did
and
book
at the
a
same
fake
time.
band that
Yeah.
canceled on us.
That's
so,
true.
I
Also true.
mean,
You did do
you
that.
know.
Well, I was wrong. We didn't come back.
Yeah.
Son
I
of a
guess I should have
bitch.
listened
Which
to the whole
pissed me
clip.
off.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
I'm already stressed out enough.
Here's the real problem.
Them
These
guys.
peanuts don't wipe off my hand, and now they're all over my
You need,
pants.
Oh,
you need
man.
some paper towels. I'll get you
No, I want this to continue.
some. Oh, there's a cum rag for
There you go.
What is this?
All right, let's
Is this a
wrap this up.
ShamWow?
No, it's just
Oh,
a
that'd be
rag.
Awesome.
So let's wrap
Panties.
this up.
He just
Underwear.
gave you panties.
He just gave me underwear.
And you put them on
Those
your
are
face.
his, man.
Nice.
These
Those are
aren't
his.
real underwear. These are fake underwear.
They're clean.
All right,
Sure.
so,
So let's wrap this up then. So we were on the Lotus Cast, and then Matt Leroy, which ironically his last name was Leroy, he helped us set up the software to broadcast, and we did it in character, and he didn't like that. So anyway, a while.
can I explain why we did that?
Sure.
Because back then we had a little bit of podcaster anxiety. We did not. We hid behind our voices. Okay, I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah,
deep.
I've admitted.
That's deep.
I've admitted.
Okay,
that.
so thanks
Gee.
for chastising us 3 years later
Yeah,
for doing that.
but I think the show was great that way. But anyway, that's a whole nother opinion. Let's go. A while later, I'm guessing, let's call it 8 months, they asked to come back. We left. Another dead podcast is what he said.
Well, we were kicked off.
No. I'm talking about.
Yeah, we were.
No,
we were
when-
kicked off when your wife found out about the.
Don't bring that up.
Porno sponsorship.
Don't bring that up. Why would you bring that up?
Oh.
Because it's funny. I'm
We-
not,
we-
I'm not arguing about it.
We
I'm
had
just
we had
saying.
we had a guy that offered to trade advertisements with his webcam site, and we agreed. And my wife didn't like that, and
Did
so
you have it up on the green screen like that?
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
I
No.
did do that at one
He
time.
had a green screen at his. This is when we broadcasted from two different locations.
Oh,
so
right.
But I did do
forgot
that. I
about
put
that.
porno in
You
the
put
background.
it on your. Oh, wow.
Yeah, just one
That's-
time
That's a different story.
for our
so
own
anyway,
viewing pleasure.
so we quit, and then we wanted to come back. He screenshotted their email to the whole group, and everyone said no. Kenny from
Yeah.
Howie at the coffee shop was the only yes.
Kenny.
Are they still?
No, they've been gone.
How did they get a vote if they're not?
They were at the time. They're not there
Oh,
anymore.
this is the first
Yeah.
round.
Is this
Just-
really a towel?
It's just a rag. It just was kind of.
Just don't question stains.
Yeah. Okay, he says
Sorry, yes.
he ignored everyone who said no and just put us back on anyway. So this would have been a year ago when we started this reincarnation of the show.
And thank you for doing that.
It was a great
If
day.
that is the truth, thank you for
Yes,
doing that.
yes. I would say right now, thanks for putting us on, Mike. I appreciate it. So time goes by. They do a show on Wednesday nights. We don't interact with them. They just kind of do their thing. They're always good about telling people the site and promoting the station, which I appreciate. And I think after a while it starts bugging them that none of our other shows acknowledge them. It becomes a topic they bring up a lot.
Or him.
Right.
Ever talking
he is
to us.
he is 100% correct about that, and we didn't care. We thought it was funny, and we brought it up because it was part of our show. Leroy and Earl, the whole shtick. Yeah,
That means he listens to your show, though, to know that, right?
I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
No, he hears
'Cause-
it from
no.
other people that chime in once
right,
in a while.
right. And I think he's heard a lot from Michelle, which I hope Michelle is listening, by the way. And
She is.
there is a chat on
Hello,
YouTube.
Michelle.
Is the chat working on Bent Radio?
It is. Michelle got in there, and the chat is also working on YouTube. And
Michelle, we love you.
JB, I'm
Sorry.
assuming that's Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown, thanks for
and
listening.
Michelle have both been on the YouTube chat.
And
at
Michelle,
that.
if you can see
What
my
about-
jersey, Tom Brady, yo.
What about Face of Dave?
Face of Dave is out there. That's a whole nother. When this went down, Face of Dave became a whole nother Twitter story.
Yeah, hey, Face of Dave, I'm just telling you right now.
He thinks you hate him, by the way. Just so you know.
I put a pretty heartfelt tweet in there saying that I don't.
remember that.
That I love him. Pretty much is what I said. But I want to put it this way to you, Face of Dave. Regardless of how you feel about the reason we were kicked off, the N word, the R word, I stuck a freaking hot iron in my mouth for 5 minutes to raise money for you.
The
yeah.
devil's tongue or whatever.
So I don't think you need to remind him of that. I think.
Well, I'm
he's
just
aware.
saying that's got to buy me some slack.
Right.
You got friendship points that day.
He did.
I think so.
So okay, so you're giving away some of the story there. So anyway.
Well, no shit.
Oh, okay. So it's a topic we bring up a lot, and he said, "Oh, I left something out." Leroy and Earl is a show done completely with voice masking witness protection stuff. So one guy sounds like Satan, and the other guy sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's relevant. Now, they just didn't get it. They didn't get it. A lot of people did, right?
It's the only show like it out of a million podcasts.
The 500,000 podcasts on iTunes.
A million. And then a million.
Anyway, so, but the reason why we have gone to our regular voices is because we realize that such a small percentage of people would dig it and have heard.
There's a reason it's 1 out of a million, is what you're trying to say.
You don't talk so good.
We haven't talked about Ricky in forever.
Well, you're not allowed to talk about Ricky. Sorry.
That's
Hey,
true.
Ricky, guess
Ricky.
what? You have to be fired because we're
That's
not
fair.
woke.
That's not fair.
We have to woke up, Ricky. Sorry.
Woke up.
I'm a human. I'm human too, you know.
Ricky, just sit right there, and we'll get to you later. Let me finish the story, damn it. They eventually, a month ago, dropped the pitch shift gimmick and go on a rant about how now they use their real voices. The other shows will interact with them. I posted one tweet, and that's a rant.
Mike,
One tweet a rant?
Mike, if you're listening, I don't even pay attention to Twitter at all, except for the past couple days. So any rants that he goes on is
Don't throw me under the bus.
No, I'm just saying it's you. We don't twit.
We don't twit.
Sweat it up.
It's tweet.
It's tweet, not twit. Anyway.
It's cool that we can play these knobs and not mess anything up.
They started tweeting at all the shows.
Knobs.
Here's the one thing that bothered me, that if I could talk to this
That
guy
you went
for
on
real.
a Twitter rant about?
He says, after a few weeks, still no interaction. They started tweeting at all the shows. Pay attention to us. Pay attention to us.
That's what you said?
No, that's what he said about us.
Damn, that
which
does
is about
sound
me.
needy. I'm
But
sorry,
it's
Mike.
about
I didn't
me.
know about that. I would have put the kibosh on that if you would have communicated with us.
Which, coming back to what you and I have already talked about, Carleeezy, and what I've said to everyone, a lot of this stuff I was doing to get attention. I'm doing a podcast I want people to listen to, and the freaking 6 or 8 shows on my network that I was on don't even acknowledge us. I don't care if they listen to the show.
Well, I want to say this, if I can. Within the past month, I've been thinking about creating my own networks. It was before this whole thing. I don't know if I said that on the show. I wonder if they caught wind of that.
I don't think you did, because I didn't know you were.
Okay, but I think that may have played into why we were starting to question them more and more. Because 2 years down the road, we should have some communication, some camaraderie between shows. And I was starting to question that myself. And I said, you know what? I mean, we might as well make our own network here. You know what I mean?
Which I love the fact that, he sent that email that, I got it Saturday morning at 10 o'clock and the network was up by 6 p.m. or something like that.
Yes. And it looks better than your network, Mike.
Easy,
I don't care.
Easy.
I don't care. He said I'm burning bridges, like I need him for something. I mean,
Right,
really?
Right.
I'm on the other side of that bridge.
At this
Mike.
point, we don't need him. So anyway, we're getting into the meat of this now.
The meat of the subject, as Saul Gorman would say.
Ooh.
What?
By the way, we're interviewing
Carleeezy. Carleeezy's in the studio tonight.
So glad you're
now,
here.
He did ask me. He said, "Do you still want me to come on the show because of all this that happened?"
Oh no, you
And
got to come on now.
And he knew, and I said, I'm gonna tell this story, right? We had lunch together the other day, and he said, "Do you still want me to come on the show because all this stuff that went down, you're gonna have a lot to talk about?" And I looked at him, I go, "I don't want to seem crass, but I really want you to come on the show." And he goes, "Tell him what you said." You don't remember?
God, I don't remember.
You looked at me and goes, "It's because I'm black." Isn't it?"
Oh, yes. That's right.
You're black?
Some would say
Yeah.
light skin.
It's more of a mahogany, dark brown. But
A
anyway,
fine, rich mahogany.
no. So he's been scheduled to come in here as our first live guest in over 2 years. Months ago, at least a month ago, I scheduled him to come here. So it has nothing to do with this. And like I said, he said, "Do you want me to come in?" So I'm trying to get through this real quick, so we're not excluding you too much.
I'm in it.
He's part of it. He's in
part
it.
of it.
So anyway,
I actually have one question that I want to ask him before all this is done with.
Oh,
can you
geez.
remember it? Or do you need
If
to
you
write?
remind me, I'll remember.
I'll try.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, one show in particular, he's talking about one of the shows on Stranger Table, did pay attention. They went to their website, LeroyandEarl.com, and really didn't like what was there.
Ooh.
On their characters page, which, before I even read anymore, all the characters on that page are not real people. They're made-up characters that are on the show, like Ricky Dixon. Like Ricky Dixon! Like Ricky Dixon.
Not allowed to do that.
Ricky is our intern. Ricky has been here for... How long you been here, Ricky?
I've been here from the start. Like, I've been here for years.
And they're trying to
Yes,
fire him,
and
which
right.
we've been trying to do for years. We don't pay him, so
Right. So anyway,
So
on their
unwoke.
characters page, they claim the show is done, and I love this. This made up for the bad thing he said before. They claim the show is done in audio blackface.
Oh, done in audio.
Done in
black.
audio blackface.
Yeah.
Which the show isn't done in audio blackface. The character I play, Leroy, I'm doing audio blackface. 'Cause
And Nana Leroy, who is probably the reason we got canned.
Because when I was Leroy, I was playing a character,
You're more.
which ironically looked just like you.
You could change it to audio Barry White. That's better.
I picked audio blackface because it would be offensive.
You should have
Okay.
said audio African American face.
Oh.
That sounds more offensive for some reason, doesn't it?
Yeah. Audio Barry White, I think, is like, everyone liked
That
Barry
isn't
White.
remotely offensive, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
that's
you want to
not-
go the offensive
I
route,
I
It's
wanted
funny, but
look. We did this show for so long, under so much stress and trying to make it good. I wanted any publicity. Like if that would have went viral and we'd have had the NAACP knocking down the door, it would have been perfect.
yeah,
Right? Because no,
such thing as
you know,
bad publicity.
right? There's no such thing as bad publicity. So anyway, the show is done in audio blackface, and that one of the characters is legally retarded.
That would be Ricky.
That would be
Actually,
Ricky, but-
correction, it's actually Leroy.
And again, they misquoted because on the characters page it doesn't say. It says he is almost legally retarded.
Oh.
Almost.
I
So
think
he hasn't been fully diagnosed.
right. He's not
Gotcha.
legally retarded
That's why I don't get any special little privileges.
Yeah.
because
so
he's not.
he's dumb
Right.
and he doesn't get
Right.
government
He does-
benefits
yeah, he's
for it.
not. Anyway, they thought, and this is the podcast that they. Sorry, they thought Jesus, which they're using God's name in vain right there. That's
which is-
okay. That's fine.
It's bad.
That's fine. Jesus, I don't want my wagon hitched to these guys. It's 2019. Hold on. Dang it. I had this thing planned. I was going to
Somebody
do.
that says it's.
Hold on.
What, you got audio of that?
No, it's 2019. Everyone's woke. Woke.
Whoa.
So they emailed me and told me to drop their show from the lineup.
Or they won't be on the network.
No, I don't think they
didn't
did.
say that.
He says, I'm going to tell you what show. I'm not going to tell you what show did this because it's not relevant, which is bullcrap. It's very relevant. They didn't give me an ultimatum. They didn't say them or us. They said us.
Oh, okay.
So
misread
basically,
it.
they didn't give him the ultimatum, but I think they were.
I would like to know what show it was.
I think it's the
Not
Lotus
that it
Cast. I think it's the Lotus Cast. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
but didn't you say the Lotus Cast said they would like to be on our show?
I don't think they were
And then
serious.
you-
I
and
don't think
then
they were serious.
Maybe they were opening it up to us finally, and you just.
Well, here's
bashed
why I
them.
think it's a Lotus Cast.
Even though
Okay,
it was a
it says
joke.
I shared this email with the group, and everyone was pretty bummed, mainly because they all voted down Leroy and Earl to begin with, and now they're costing us shows we actually like. Now, not to mention, geez, the points made in the email. Do we want to be associated with them? We'd never really thought of it that way. Are we not woke?
I didn't even know what woke was. And I mean, apparently I'm not because I didn't know what it was until a week ago.
How many shows are on the website?
About 8. I don't know for
8,
sure. There's not a lot.
and they're each probably 1 hour.
Hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere.
So 8 hours out of
Well, some
how
of them,
many hours in a week?
Yeah, some of them do maybe a few hours
why
just
would
to
they
talk
care?
about.
I think they're all once a week shows, and there's maybe one that's only every 2 weeks. That's not
Right.
huge.
Yeah.
Woke up. And
But they're definitely all woke.
You're only 1 hour out of however many hours in a week.
Right.
Way to belittle us.
How would you be? Well, how would you be associated with when you're just there for like 1 second out of?
It was the website. It was that site going to the website and actually looking into what we do, and the fact that I did claim to do audio blackface, and that Ricky is
and you put
almost
fake people up
like-
there.
Yeah, I put fake people up there.
They thought the characters were real
and
this
made
whole
a,
time.
and made a fake
Well,
stories
those
about the
are
fake people.
real pictures of someone.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
somewhere.
true.
Plagiarized.
Well, no, they have our pictures. Like
No.
for me, it's
For
for
what?
Leroy. I'm there. For
Right,
Earl,
right,
you're there.
right, but
Tuna,
I think we can assume he's talking about
Ricky, and
Father
so, yeah, and all
James,
them.
Saul Gorman.
Yeah, right. So I made the call to remove Leroy and Earl from Strange Label. It wasn't in fear of losing other shows, bullcrap. It was based on the fact that we had a show on our network that we weren't networking with / aligned with on some things, and felt it was a disservice to keep them around to both them and us. I sent this discreet email, which I already read you.
Right.
Hey guys, we're dropping you and we're not telling you why. I'm not an HR rep. I don't know how to word termination letters. I'm a goofy dude who does a podcast, but I wanted to be professional. That's why I didn't even give him a reason. I just threw that in there. Sorry. I should probably do this when I'm throwing stuff in. Maybe I should do that. They've done everything we've asked them to do, and I have no reason to be shitty to them. I just don't think it was ever going to work out after 2.5 years.
Yes. After 2.5 years, it's never going to work out. He tried so hard, though. You know, you got to give him to him.
He did say in the next line, some of that may be my fault.
How about?
Sorry. They took to Twitter and called me out, making it a much messier public deal. I did.
I wonder if he knew that was going to happen. See,
he should have if he knew anything about our show.
The way he talks, he's a pretty smart guy. So I would almost say I wonder if he knew that would happen and he's using us.
I don't know. He is a smart guy. I've listened to their show. Their show is good. WFOD is a good podcast. I can say that. It's a good show. It's
I've listened
entertaining.
to parts. Yes, it is. Tuna, are you going to say anything at all tonight?
Actually, yes. I'm waiting for you guys to shut the hell
I'm
up.
going to interrupt.
We got a lot going on here.
This is intense.
Yeah,
Michelle's
it is.
on the chat, and earlier she said that we need to listen to the show last night, which I'm not sure who that would be.
WFOD was on last night, and I couldn't
Okay.
listen to it. I'm going to listen to it when they put it up. They don't see when we do our show. This show will be up tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to put
Yeah.
clips from their last night show
No,
on
that
here.
was not safe for water coolers at the very
Oh.
end of their show, which I don't even know why I logged on. I got out of the shower. I had my phone in my hand. I logged on
You
to
were
Strange
crying.
Label. I was crying. I was sobbing.
In the
And I
shower.
don't know why I logged on to Strange Label. I didn't even know if a show was on. And I hear them talking, and I'm not kidding, Carleeezy,
Not a kid.
within 5 seconds of me, I heard the words Leroy and Earl. And, I went-
wow.
and then they basically
They're taking us back. They're taking us back.
they defended us, and one of the guys was basically saying, "Hey, no one asked me." You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
you liar, Mike.
it wasn't
you said
Mike.
you-
It wasn't Mike. It was not safe for water coolers.
They're all going on there basically to say it wasn't me.
It was not safe for water coolers. One of the first shows to be on the Bent Radio Network.
Hey, and that is an open invite to.
Yeah, all the show-
But we don't know any of you guys, so you could be coming on to sabotage our show.
You're right. That's true. How
on
can they
our network.
sabotage it?
Yeah, they couldn't.
Yeah,
but
they-
So, back to my point. I'm
Oh, hey, sorry.
interrupting you. Yes, I
Whoa.
took charge.
Good job. Good job.
Michelle said if you want to hear the real reason, they talked about it on the show last night.
Oh, there's a different reason.
Ooh.
So they didn't even tell us the real reason.
I told you that he seemed like he was lying to me.
This is spooky.
And Michelle said she does not believe it was. She said it. I do not believe it was them. I think she means she said that when you were talking about Lotus Cast.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll wait for her to.
Was it
respond
you,
to that.
Michelle? Just come
No.
on.
Oh, it's totally
Actually,
Michelle.
Michelle contacted us on Twitter, and she felt a little bad because she said she's been recently talking us up to Mike, and so she felt like she put us on the radar.
So after 2 years, they finally looked at us and
Right.
were like, "Hey,
Not your fault at all, Michelle.
Yeah,
no,
not at all. And
Feel
we
we would trade you for them any day.
right. And we're glad you're
We'd
listening.
Trade them for you. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. We love
So
you.
glad you're listening. So, did you finish your point, or did you have more?
I don't know.
Okay, well, think about it. So anyway, he posts the tweet that I put up. I basically tweeted the email, and like I said, I added everybody that I could fit. So that's why I figured I should write about what happened and why, so they can get the explanation they deserve, and others can get caught up to speed. If you listen to that show, continue to do so. They're on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Search Leroy and Earl. I wish them luck. I really do. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and reach out. Love, Mike.
Love Mike.
So nice.
First time
And
he ever
you know,
talked to us.
before we even go on any further, I want to say I loved being on Strange Label. I appreciated. I know that Mike had to put a lot of hard work into it. This just doesn't happen. And when we first joined Strange Label, I was actually surprised when no one said, "Hey, sure, it's going to cost you $20 a month." No, you know, it's free. And so I never had any ill will, and maybe my goading and trying to get people into Twitter beefs and stuff just came across the wrong way. And I apologize to everyone from Strange Label. And I'm excited. I can't wait to listen to the show FOD to find out the real reason.
I do want to find that, but
This is very emotional.
Material for next
before I
week.
lose this thought, me and you have a bent perspective on reality, and I kind of wonder, because the truth of the matter is, you know, you've been to war. We're both veterans, and we probably have both seen a lot of dead people, right?
Yeah.
I know I've seen hundreds and hundreds. So
humor's a bit different to us.
Humor is way different to us. And if you have the stress levels that I do, and the anxieties that you sometimes just do, you do stuff like this, where you don't even remember what your point was.
The whole sentence.
Yeah, my point was is our perspective may be different than theirs.
Wow.
My definition of woke obviously is different than theirs or Face of Dave's. Not that that's going to be a reason for me to dislike someone, because we're allowed to have different opinions, but some people.
People aren't liking that these days, though. Having different opinions, that's like
Right.
bad.
Well,
You hit the nail on the head.
You can have a different opinion as long as it lines up within a parameter.
Right.
If you want to call it liberal, conservative, just whatever label. Yeah, as long as it lines up. So yeah, I was really bummed on Saturday. It really affected me for about 3 hours, and then I kind of got over it. But it was like, I'm just saying, it was like being fired from a job and not being told why.
That's
what
how
it was
I
like.
felt too when you sent me that. And granted, I've only been helping you guys out for a couple months now. I felt like I got fired from
Right.
my job.
And with no explanation.
That's how I felt when I used to work for you at PSI, and I got fired.
You didn't work for me. I
Well,
wasn't your boss.
You were a manager there.
I wasn't.
Well, you had some hand in getting me
you were.
I
fired.
did not.
You were. Yep.
You think that to this
You
day?
guys have talked to it.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
just-
how I felt.
I
Do you
know
think
it.
to this day
That's
that I
how I
had
felt.
nothing? In fact, John Gannon was the sole reason you were
First
fired.
and last
Mike
name.
Dykes stuck up for you, and I
said
and I
first
did
and
too.
last
Mike,
name.
what? What'd you say?
Huh?
First and last name.
Mike.
What?
You're just throwing people's
throwing-
full
no,
names
we're-
out there.
people-
Yeah, these
Oh,
are
these
people
people
that.
don't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
They Mike Dykes don't listen to radio
No, right.
or have a
He
smartphone.
doesn't even know what a
Mike Dykes
podcast
is a
is.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Damn. Holy.
So let me ask my question. Are you
Okay.
gonna play the clip,
Which clip?
the one that got us fired?
That didn't get us fired. You talking
Oh
about
my
Nana
God.
Leroy?
He's in denial.
Why wouldn't they mention that specific clip then?
Maybe they did. We have to figure out what they said
Bro,
on the show.
we know that
Well,
was what
she's saying
fired it off.
it's not the real reason, but that would be a related reason because we
Okay,
we
so we're
weren't
not
woke.
We're not woke. Okay, so what Nana Leroy did, I assumed they would say is not woke. Can we agree on that?
Obviously, if we can't say someone's almost legally retarded on a fake character on a website, then yeah, I'm guessing
But
actually
did you
using
actually
the
hear that then?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
N word that he spewed out of his mouth like 45 times.
Nana
Nana.
Leroy. Nana
it
Leroy.
was like
Nana.
twice.
So there's a difference in calling someone the N word, and then there's portraying a character who is just trying to be funny and is just using it in their vocabulary.
Right.
Because, like I said on our front page, comedy is often about the tensions in the world, racial, whatever. I just want to know how exactly, and be honest, how does that make you feel hearing that? Like when you heard that
I
clip?
laughed.
Did it make you feel a certain kind of way being black yourself at all?
I would say, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, people like Dave are more offended by the N word than he would be, right?
Dave, who?
White people. There are white people who are
Face
more
Oh, did
offended
they?
by the N-word.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Did you feel offended at all?
No, I laughed and I was like, huh.
Would you prefer him not to use that? Even just to raise awareness.
For your own safety, probably.
Right. We're definitely not going to use it tonight while you're in the room.
No, like, I mean, if someone you knew who was blacker than me, and like, yo, I'm gonna beat that dude up, cause.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think anybody that had even a remote sense of humor,
yeah,
is going to understand.
So what you're saying is the only ones that are offended are the white people.
The white people who are woke.
The woke and white people.
The woke
now,
and
I
white
do
people.
agree with Carleezy. If you say that around a black person, only one or two things going to happen. You're going to get your ass kicked by the black person, or you're going to win and be arrested for
hate crime.
For hate crime. So
Look. Nobody. I understand racial tensions and what the N-word means. It's not that I think it's. How flippant have I used that word on the show?
And if anybody actually knew you, these guys knew you, would know you're the least racist.
Right,
I mean,
right.
this is it.
It's Nana Leroy. I'm playing a character who has a filthy mouth, who uses all kinds of bad words. All of them.
And Leroy and Earl was spawned from the imagery of a big black guy and a skinny white redneck, which is an awkward friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why we liked it so much.
Right. And that's why it worked. And
that's why Robin Big worked so well. If you ever watched that show,
yeah.
Robin Big.
And years ago, Leroy went on an N-word
None of us have ever
tirade.
heard of it.
Right?
What?
I said years ago, Leroy went on an N-word tirade.
And he got suspended.
And he got suspended.
Oh.
And now Nana Leroy used the N-word, and we get kicked off the podcast.
Which I don't get, because Nana Leroy is black.
It doesn't matter.
We have to figure out the real reason later.
Yeah, I'll be anxious.
Yeah, it would have been nice
Can
to know.
Michelle just tell us?
Yeah, can you just tell us so we can get mad about it?
She doesn't want to give us spoilers.
I'll let you know.
That way we don't have to suffer through their podcast.
I think a big thing that I want to point out, and this is how I personally feel about words like that, it's the intention. It's the way you deliver it, the intention behind the words and
Him
the feeling.
specifically?
Anybody.
Or anybody in general?
Anybody.
Well, everyone. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're okay.
Everyone knows. When she said it was okay.
When she said it was okay, she meant stop.
Oh, sorry.
I forgive you.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay.
should have
okay.
said.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
And
Good.
now I totally forget what I was
Oh,
going to say.
no.
What you were,
Take it
what
away,
you were
Leroy.
saying doesn't line up with everything you were telling me, though. Like last night, you were telling me basically it's his fault. He always gets us into this kind of trouble.
What is happening?
He's not paying
Such a
attention. Don't
lie.
worry.
Yeah, I heard you.
Background, the
I
green
heard
screen.
you.
I was looking back there earlier, and they were showing you how to make meth. So I don't know. We kind of got to screen
No,
these
it's
things
great.
before we put them up
It's a
here.
great video.
Scary.
Now they're shredding
That's the
Spider-Man
podcast.
dolls?
Yeah.
That's Leroy and Earl members.
Right there,
I'm
going into
scared.
the mixture. Anyway,
Scary.
as far as using the N-word, I mean, everyone knows, everyone laughs, especially white people laugh about how much black people use the N-word for each other, right? They use it all the time.
And then want to kick
And
our
then,
ass.
and then in rap music, it's very prevalent, the N-word, right?
Yeah.
So, and I am completely fine as a white person in America in 2019, letting black people use that word all they want and me not be able to use it.
Yeah,
I think
you can have that word.
I think all those years of slavery maybe have earned you just at least that, right?
There you go.
You can use the N-word all you want. Now, but it comes back to what she said about intention. I did that as a joke. It was a part of the character, and it was funny, and blah blah blah.
Which,
right?
if you listen to comedy, it's every day, all day, in comedy.
Right. Well, if you got on there and made fun of a white man or a Christian or certain other groups in our country, it'd be fine.
We don't have feelings. That's
Right,
white people
right.
don't have feelings.
Right.
So
It's very possible.
So anyway,
Well,
It's
and
very possible.
no one is safe on this show.
no.
Or with your senses of humor. Well, and
well, that's
mine
been
too.
one of our themes since day one that he coined. Earl coined.
We wrote a song about
He
it.
wrote a song about it. Yes, we love everyone,
Black, white, straight,
straight
or
and gay. We might
It-
make fun of you.
It doesn't matter
either
anyway.
way. We might make fun of you.
Beautiful song.
It was.
Or we're gonna love you anyway. is
Those
what-
really that
something like
touched
that.
me.
Yep. So yeah,
Update.
Amazing.
update. We got an update.
Update. Michelle just typed in.
Is this a
she
shizzy?
said
Are you doing the shizzy right now?
the shizzy. No. I didn't even bother getting the
The
sushi,
sushi.
ready for
Oh
tonight
no.
because I figured they were just going to talk about this the whole time. But back to Michelle. She said the episode is fun to listen to, but basically Mike said the catalyst to kicking the show off was the email.
The
But-
email. What do you
yeah,
mean?
I'm not sure if it was.
Uh-oh.
Are you I can't say it anymore. Bleep it out.
Am I
What do you mean
am I
the
DD?
email? What do you mean, like questioning?
How could the catalyst be the email?
I don't know.
That's that's the basis of their kicking off the podcast is all this shit. That's what she's trying to say.
And she said
Why
they
is
were
he looking at me
basically
like that?
looking for a reason to get rid of us.
Oh.
So
Oh,
I
man.
don't know what she means by the email, but
Yeah,
The email that you
I think
sent.
maybe she's saying because I tweeted the email.
They already
That's
got
what
rid of
You
us.
were already off the show, though, when
No.
you tweeted the email.
Well, yeah. I don't know then what he's talking
Have
about.
another drink,
Yeah,
man.
tell her we need to know what because the catalyst means.
No, here's
she
the thing.
said, "Listen to the episode."
All right, we'll listen to the
Here-
damn
here's
show.
the thing. Here, I'm going to put it out there. They didn't like it. They think the show sucks. I don't know if they listened to any of the more recent episodes because I think it's gotten better that we're using our own format here. They didn't like us. They wouldn't want to get rid of us. I have to question why Howie's at the coffee shop isn't on anymore.
I don't know. Maybe they just quit. Who knows?
Maybe they
Okay.
got kicked off.
Maybe they got kicked
Maybe
off.
they did get kicked off.
Maybe they're trying
Well,
to...
it's obvious. It's obvious that this group of people that we should have never been on this network. If they're this snowflake and woke, then we shouldn't have been on there, right? And they just never listened to the damn show, which Earl here started the Bent Radio Network, and guess what? We're going to listen to the shows. We're going to vet the shows that come on our network.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what they say, but we're going to listen to it anyway, right?
And we're going to take some time to make our website look good. Jeez, man.
Shots fired.
Do you think there's any type of like legal advice you guys can get from like do you have a lawyer or anything like
Saul?
that?
Well, we have been in contact with Saul, and he said, well, he was gurgling a lot. I don't know what was going on there, but he said he can't handle it. He can't handle this case. So
Michelle clarified the email that she was talking about is the email from the other show that Mike received.
That's the thing.
Oh,
What it came down to is a show that they like better, that's probably got more listeners, that makes their network look better, said, I don't want to be involved with this show. So basically, Mike had to make the decision to get rid of us or get rid of that show.
One of their friends said, hey, we don't like these guys.
Or his wife. Right? Mike's wife.
It always comes down to the wife, man.
Hey, I know how you feel, Mike. I know how you feel.
It's messed up.
It is.
See, the second time we were wifed.
Yeah. We got wiped once before that came up.
Jeez.
You know what? Sometimes you guys need to be reined in a little bit. So
That's true. The advertising for a webcam site was not a good idea. It was.
She's like the
mother.
no, the reason, and you guys are like the other things.
What?
Then Tuna comes in, is like, "Yo, reason time," and then you guys are like, "Oh, that's a good point."
Right. Yeah, she can think more clearly.
Yeah.
Than we can.
Because we don't stop talking. She sits over there and thinks.
She's like thinking the entire time. Okay, I can address this point. Okay, I get this point.
So there it is. That's why we're no longer on the Strange Label Network. We're live on bentradio.net. So please check that out, and we're going to be looking for you, podcasts. Come on, not safe for water coolers.
Yeah, we are hiring. We're not going to pay you.
Oh, nice.
We do need shows though, obviously.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, there's a million out there, so we.
Oh, it won't
we
be a
can get
problem.
shows. Yeah,
it won't be a problem. I have not even started to recruit, so.
Right. We're looking for broadcasters.
I want to make sure that it works.
Broadcasters. We're looking for sponsors. Not that we really need them, but we want sponsors, obviously.
Hey, our fan Anon had a good idea that he submitted earlier. We need more music from
Fuck
local
Anon.
from local musicians.
Right. You know
could
what?
have
Okay,
a
I love
whole-
Anon, but we can't play the stuff he does because it's weird.
Okay.
It's great.
Let me tell you what happened.
It's very great
Let me
progressive
tell you what
music,
happened.
and I love his music, but it's not
weird.
good bumper music.
You need to hear this, Ryan. I mean, Anon.
He can't stop
First
himself.
and last name.
He can't
No,
stop
just kidding.
himself. Tyndall.
Oh no!
Here's the thing. This dude, I text him. He rents the bottom half of my house out. I text him. I say, "You up down there?"
You rent the bottom half of your house.
Yeah, it's like a double decker.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Double decker.
You know, he got his own apartment down there.
Nice.
So I rent it out, right? I say, "Hey, you up?" Because I wanted to not just go down there and bombard down there at 3 p.m. You know what I mean? 3 in the
naked.
afternoon.
Could be naked.
Could be naked. Could be sleeping. Which he was sleeping.
Nice.
Anyways, I say, "Hey, come on! I want you to check something out. I've been working on for 2 minutes," and I showed him my website, and he looks at it and I say, hit the play button. He says nothing. He listens. I just had music on there, just filler music. Didn't say he liked or anything. He was like, you could have done better with the music. That's all he said. Like, fuck you, man. Go back down to your apartment.
If you just had a constant stream of John Mayer, I think you'd be good.
John Mayer?
Yeah, like just rotate that his whole like life.
No.
We are gonna have to
Not
pleasurize
happening.
some stuff for a while.
Yeah, just
They
John
can-
Mayer. I sent him a website that gives you royalty-free
Royalty-free.
music, but it's like good quality.
Shizzle.
But it's like, what was it, like $12 a month for it?
You know, yeah. When it comes to the music, as
What?
far as copyrights and stuff go, when it matters, we'll cross that bridge.
Well, I went to that website and I couldn't find nothing but Anon music.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to the website?
I couldn't find nothing but
Are you sure
my
it's the
renter's music
website?
on there.
Was it the website I sent him?
No,
Oh.
no, it's different.
Different. Over
Yeah.
my head.
We're about we need a break.
We are coming up on a break. I was getting the break music and stuff together here.
Is it copyrighted?
And,
Yeah, now that we've got 5 minutes left in the show.
we got more than 5 minutes.
No, we got more. We got all the time we want.
So we do have a new sponsor
We
tonight.
drove separate too, by the way.
We do have a new sponsor tonight. I'm proud to introduce Jones Cheap Ass Prepaid Legal and Daycare Academy in
Yes.
Columbus, Ohio, is one of our new sponsors, and we're going to listen to one of his commercials real quick. I actually should have played the video, but I don't know how to do that right at this
Ooh,
moment.
You could
Bent radio.
Bent radio.
Screen capture.
Yeah.
Screen catcher.
Is this business also affiliated with
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Yeah.
Yes, same guy.
Really?
Same guy. He's a good friend of Carleezy's, isn't he?
Yep.
Which I don't believe you.
Pretty much like my brother.
Is it just because you're both black? Or do you actually know him?
Am I really black?
You about the same skin color as him.
No.
Yeah, he's.
I am Navajo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's racist.
That's so anyway.
No, I'm actually Cherokee, so I can say Navajo.
You know what? I'm part. I don't know which one.
Hey.
I'm part. Dude, we might be blood.
Maybe.
Wait,
He
you
also
have
owns-
Native American blood in your
Yeah, like 2%.
like the palest version of it.
Yeah. Can't all be blessed.
Yeah.
Like
sorry.
Carleezy.
That's me. I'm gonna get sunburned. It's okay.
So anyway, yeah. Jones big ass. It's
Screen
Jones
capture it.
cheap
Is
ass.
this gonna be a real break, or am I gonna have to work through it?
No, it's a real break.
Okay, can
We're
we
taking
get to
a
it?
real
How long
break.
is it?
The break, well,
2
between this
seconds.
commercial
I
and
have
the song,
to tinkle. That's
it'll be
all.
about 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
Damn, 5 minutes.
That enough for a
Tripling
tinkle?
our time.
You guys,
We're good.
unbelievable. Come on, play.
Watch your penis.
Oh, salty nut.
I object. I defer. I find you both guilty of helping people for the ridiculously low price of $99.99. In today's broke-ass society, things are harder, so you need things cheaper. So I came up with Jones, cheap-ass prepaid legal and daycare academy. You are not the president. You don't need to make that type of money. You might need my legal services. You're just raising one kid, because I'm going to sue you. At Jones, we don't assess the legal fees after the case is disposed of. We make it prepaid. Prepaid meaning you need to pay before, just in case I need to invest the money in something else where you may need my services. And I'm going to spend it wisely, fighting for you. And if we can't get you out of child support, we'll provide you with our top-notch molester-free daycare services. We let them do whatever they want to do, so that when you get them home, they go straight to bed. Which one of y'all, you little Santa Claus ain't coming to none of y'all. There's some books around here somewhere. Jones do a good-ass job of watching both mine and my grandbaby. Jones got for me auto insurance. Jones got me this big-ass check. Now, friends, you may ask yourself, how could he provide us with such cheap legal services? Well, here's a story about Toby and his baby mama. Hey, Toby, I need my money. I don't have no more money. That's because y'all keep messing up. Y'all keep doing crime. Because I gave it all to you to raise that one little baby you got. And I work from volume. So y'all continue to rob people and take stuff. It ain't your business what I do with the money. So please, come on down to Jones, cheap-ass prepaid legal and daycare academy. Well, it's a place where you can bring your children and get legal advice. Put your hand against the wall. My legal advice to you is don't have no more children. Go ahead and come to the website or give me a call on the new telephone number at 708-46-CASH-1. I'm on call 3 hours a day, 5 hours a week.
To the be-all.
Wait a minute, man. We gotta stick together. Those things are everywhere.
I'm just doing what the voices inside my head told me to do, kid. So they say, blow your fucking brains
your fucking brains out. Nothing personal, you understand? I just haven't done myself.
Back when the hammers were the days and way before spinners, when rhymes weren't the size of a four-course dinner, and eights were always laced with rocking the mic right. Not 16 bars of rappers who can't write, not 16 cars for people who can't blow with rings and big eyes and colorful ringtones. Before merchandising and enterprising and multi-million-dollar music companies uprising and macking the business and entertainers everywhere. We're either too high to notice or too dumb to carry the way. That's why we living in it today. You better fight for that deal, for that meal, go away.
Earl show. Like me, Leroy and Earl will be back. Hasta la vista, shift heads.
Taking the easy route, so I cock back the hammer and I blow they back out. Blam, blam.
Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum.
Need to let all those words of hate infiltrate your common state of mind. Although time and again I've let them in and they chip away like chisel to stone, decaying like bones. A critic and withering alone in the cold of night. Too wrong to ever admit that I'm right, but in the back of my head I'm second guessing my best, feeling my worst better serve the purpose to all of them. Again, it's in my head, so I don't consider it real to feel repulsed by some of the thoughts that my mind can produce and create out of a simple day of common fascination. And think it's inside my mind is to be everything you want me to be and still be me at the same time. That's a concept better said than done. Trying to impress myself, not you or anyone anymore. And no, I'm not concerned with the score. I'm concerned with people hearing this wigs hitting the floor. Blam, blam.
Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum.
Like a triple down puppy bubble coat, a hustler and cutthroat, all rolled into one hope and swinging from my rope chain is the flow game where you can make bread like cats who flip cocaine. I'm powder white and twice as sweet as a cavity, giving you such a high that it defies the law of gravity. I'm magically delicious to any and all bitches, but I don't pay them no mind. I'm focusing on my riches. So they thinking that I'm conceited and condescending at best, but at this moment I don't care about your thoughts and interests and why you're impressed with my faction and fiction, my entourage, my vibe and my disposition. I'm on a mission and I ain't stopping for nothing, and you can put that on the record button. I ain't front with no byproduct, artificial inseminants, a pure dose of what blasting is, little bitch. Blam, blam.
Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum. Here it is, here it comes, it's another one. Put up your big guns, cover your eardrum.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, Hulkster, did you hear the big news, brother? Brother, I have heard the news. You're talking about Leroy and Earl, right, dude? Yeah, Hulkster, it turns out that Leroy and Earl, they're dropping the gimmick. They're gonna just be themselves, the cream of the crop. Definitely gonna rise to the top. Now, can you dig it? Well, let me tell you something, Macho. Let me tell you one thing, dude. Leroy and Earl were getting stale anyway, brother. It's always best just to let the real you shine through. Ooh, love it, Hulkster. I'm gonna tune into the show and see what happens next. Need a little excitement? Snap into the podcast. Ooh, yeah.
All right. Welcome to the Leroy and Earl Show. We're coming live from the Discount Wheelie Studio on the eastern edge of the Midwest. And live tonight we got Carleeezy in studio.
Got a message here during the break. It is from Anon. It says, "Fuck me, fuck you."
Jeez.
He's
delivering Chinese food, so he's picking up their accents.
Okay, Anon, I want you to know I am not dissing your music. I think your music is really amazing. It's a adrenaline.
Are we live?
We are. I just didn't change it yet. See, that's the things I got to do. You know what I mean?
You can do hotkeys and then boom, you don't have to do that.
You're
Hotkey
hired.
it.
Yeah.
Hotkey
If
it.
you're
right,
offering,
yeah.
you're hired.
Well, I would still have to do it. I'm completely forgetting to do it.
Oh,
If this
yeah.
was in front of my face, I would remember. But I can't have everything in front of my face.
Why not?
And they like to see themselves during the show. So
Tuna said
they're
no.
not denying it.
No, I actually don't because I looked at myself earlier and my looking down at my computer just encourages the double chin to happen, and it's not cute.
We could put the camera like up higher, looking
Yes.
down if you want, like his is.
These clips
Yeah.
on the green screen, which you can't see, I actually have one of those on my back here, back of my neck here to get rid of my double chin.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so yeah, that was our new sponsor, Jones. He's got all kinds of stuff in Columbus, Ohio. Jones Barbecue Foot Massage.
Not
Got the
too
Jones,
far from here.
Yeah, not too far.
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
We got to get that guy on the show. I love that guy. Do you really know him? Or are you just messing around? Be serious. Do you know him?
I'm always serious.
You're not always serious. In fact, you're rarely serious.
You're never serious.
That is one of my intimate friends.
Wow,
Is it really
how intimate? How
Close.
intimate?
Like close.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
can you get him on the show? We need to get him on here.
You know, he's kind of a big deal.
He is.
don't know
I
if,
understand.
We'll
you
pay
know.
him.
You pay him?
Seriously.
Oh, well, let's see. What's that gonna do?
Will we?
Yeah, I know you wouldn't. Don't worry, I wasn't asking for your money. I mean, I can't pay an arm and a leg, but we definitely need.
Someone famous?
Yeah, which I don't know that he's
He's
famous.
not that
Now,
famous.
here's what you guys really need
He's
to
fun.
do.
He's funny. He's a great guy.
You
I
need to
bet he would
go-
love to be on the show. We could probably contact him.
You have to go to Cameo, showed you that website, and have a celebrity endorse your show.
Yeah, that's expensive.
You need to send that stuff to me.
Cameo?
You do.
Not him.
Yeah,
Don't send him
yeah.
that stuff.
Listen. He sent me that months and months ago, and anybody who's even remotely famous was really expensive, like $500.
Yeah, you don't go for
'Kay.
the super
Yeah,
expensive guys.
So what I'm saying is, anyone else that was on there that was affordable was literally nobody. So it
No.
would have been a waste of money.
Okay. You.
He's going to prove me wrong
I'm gonna
here,
prove
but
you
that's
wrong.
fine. And keep in mind, it's,
Okay.
Speaking of
So
all
do you-
that,
do you know what Cameo is?
I do now because you just told me.
What is it?
Somewhere where you connect with stars.
It is paying pretty much for a video autograph. Paying a celebrity for a video autograph.
Oh, okay.
So like, nobodies. You could do Andy Dick.
For how
Everyone knows
much?
Andy Dick.
How much?
$99.
For how long? For what?
It can go for a minute, 2 minutes if you want.
It's still a
there's
lot of
catch.
money.
I saw that one. It's $99 and a blowjob.
Oh yeah, that's, you wouldn't want
Send
that.
Send that to me.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know if
send
we're
it to you.
friends or not, but
are.
we are all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know if you delete me since this whole woke thing.
You could do Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings. Everybody loves that guy.
Never heard of him.
That's not Bilbo, but his friend.
The one you don't know the name of.
What about Harry Potter?
Is Bilbo
There are some
Baggins.
Harry Potter guys, actually.
I would like to get a Harry
I
Potter,
got
right?
you.
Is that the right one? Do you like Harry Potter?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, speaking of
I'm still
celebrities, I posted on this Twitter war the retarded cop.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
that guy. That website is hilarious.
Their whole message is, and I hope that they can tell us on this show themselves, but their whole message is stop freaking out about the word retarded. The dude says, I'm retarded, and I'm still funnier than you, is basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But I love the guys, man. Speaking of Cameo, I talked to the brother today who's on vacation, but I actually talked to his publicist, so he gave me his direct contact information. I don't know if you saw it on the trailer or not. So I want to try to get them on the show. It obviously be satellite, but who's dinging?
That would be cool.
I pretty much see the word retarder every day of my life that I work. Because I deal with big vehicles, and a retarder is a mechanism that helps slow down the big vehicle.
See, I'm sorry.
No,
And it's actually a term used in music.
See,
well,
now,
it used to be.
We were kicked off of the podcast network because of two things, because of racial issue with using blackface, and let's say it was because of Nana Leroy, and using the R word, and that was one thing. The Face of Dave got on Twitter and said that he was offended by the R word.
And I actually added Face of Dave into this message I sent to Mike, I guess his name is,
Yeah.
Strange Label.
Kind of a rebuttal.
And yeah, and I was actually, I don't even remember, but I was just saying thank you, Face of Dave. Despite our differences, thank you. Like, saying, yeah, I know you don't like the word retard, but thank you for supporting us. And he made us take it down. I mean, he couldn't make me. I did it out of respect.
He wanted his name taken off of it.
Right. Yeah. So I
Which
took
was-
it down and
which is funny.
reposted it, and then Mike's like, "You already sent that."
Right, that was the funny
no
part.
shit, dude. I'm just taking somebody's name out of it.
Right, he thought you sent it again, like you were just, which is funny.
So you
but
didn't read it.
My original point was,
turn this one up.
We to me to be equally as offended by the word retard as by the N-word is ludicrous, because the N-word has roots in very unpleasant, terrible things. Retarded was just the actual word for someone who was slow, who had mental disabilities. But somehow that became, I guess it's like the F word, the word faggot.
Oh, that.
Like if you
my
call it
God, we weren't even saying that. Now you got that us, honestly.
Do you want to say the C word too?
cunt.
Yeah.
Was that the one?
I said it last night actually, so doesn't
But what I'm
bother
saying
me.
is, like, no retarded people are offended by the word retard. The only people that are offended by the word retard are people who are woke.
Oh, wrong one.
Wrong one.
Leroy's back.
Damn it, Leroy.
White woke people.
White
and
woke
that's
people.
racist for me to say. No, it's not, because it's true. White woke people are so offended these days. I'm so stressed out because I don't know what I can and cannot say.
Right.
Most of what you say you shouldn't.
Right.
Probably.
And then we get into the whole sexual harassment thing. That's a whole other
thing.
Whole other thing. So, Carleeezy.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, man?
I want to say thanks so much for coming to be in studio. Did you get a little drink there?
I got some drink.
I figured. I know he likes cream
roasted.
soda.
Cream soda's good.
And I know he likes Sprite.
Are those your personal nuts? Are those your personal nuts?
No, those are planters.
Those are my nuts.
Oh, could I have some more of your nuts?
Come on. The favorite. Oh,
did you spill nuts all over the deep shift studio?
My favorite part.
Just nutted all over your carpet.
Wow, you just
Oh my God.
terrible.
You want to know my favorite part about the drive here? There is a flower-rama on the way here.
There is, yep, on the corner.
I have
of,
not
yeah.
seen a flower-rama in 20 years.
Now you know where to go to get your wife flowers.
Jeez.
At the
For
Flower-rama.
Valentine's Day, it's coming up.
The corner of Mogador Road and State Route 91 in Akron, Ohio, the Flower-rama.
That's how you know you're in the ghetto, though, when you see a flower-rama. Yeah.
It's
I was
not
like,
the ghetto.
I'm home.
Yeah.
Did he just call Elliot
He
the
did.
ghetto?
He just called Elliot the
I
ghetto.
grew up around flower
Yeah.
ramas, so that's just it brings me back home.
He's not black.
Well,
Bedford?
where
Dude,
did you grow up?
Bedford's
Where did you grow up?
Bedford.
Bedford Heights.
Home of Halle Berry.
Really?
Yeah, she grew up there. Graduated
We
from
should be
high
able to get
school.
her for $25 on the cameo.
She's more
Also a
expensive than
football player in the Super Bowl on the Rams.
You know
I
it?
played football with him.
Who was that?
Roger Saffold.
Roger
He
Saffold.
is either a tackle or a guard for the Rams.
Wow. So who's going to win? Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Patriots, obviously.
Think so?
Yeah.
I know Michelle's
everyone
rooting for the
knows that.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Big,
Everybody
big,
but me.
Everyone knows that.
She said earlier she really likes your jersey.
Well, thank you, Michelle. I wore it just for you.
I need
tonight.
revenge because last year I was on a cruise ship. We left out of Baltimore, and everyone had on Patriots jerseys because we're right next to Massachusetts. And all these people.
Baltimore's not next to Massachusetts.
It's right over there.
It's
Yeah.
Philadelphia's closer.
Excuse me. Okay, continue the story.
I'm just saying.
A lot of these people had Patriots jerseys on. We get on the cruise. They went through whatever tedious task to stream in the middle of the ocean the Super Bowl game. Everyone's wearing Patriots jerseys, and I'm so pumped, although I didn't get to watch all of it because there's so many people watching it, and they lose.
Right.
So I need revenge. I can't go back on that cruise, but I need to see them win again. For the 6th time, I need to see this.
I think it's going to happen. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like the
easily.
Patriots are going to win. Now, if the Rams won, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think the Rams, if the Patriots play a mediocre game, they could still win.
Yeah.
The Rams got to play their best game to win. So, Tom Brady, who's 40 million years old,
40
he's already said he's not retiring.
No signs of slowing down.
No signs of slowing down. One of our new shift heads on Twitter, which she doesn't know she's a shift head yet, but she's one of our new followers, Melanie Gibson at Sugarwits. She posted something I thought was very
Is that a play on words?
Sugarwits. It is. She's
Okay.
actually. I
didn't
thought
wanna
about
be
contacting her.
sexist.
She does a lot of
pretty
voice work, like a voiceover work and promo work. But anyway, she came up with a funny thing for the Tom Brady thing, like different things, like Tom Brady. If Brady on vacation would be, Tom Cruise.
Ah.
Brady has a boner. Tom Hardy.
Ooh.
Brady in line. Tom Waits. Brady holds a grudge. Tom Petty.
Oh.
Brady cries. Tom Welling, which I never heard of Tom Welling. But anyway, Brady loads a gun.
singer.
Brady loads a gun.
Brady loads a gun.
Brady.
Tom Chambers.
Ah.
So
I'm not done.
Oh my God.
She's not done.
Brady tree hugger.
Tom Hippie.
Tom Green.
Tom Green. He got one. Yes.
Not
Tree
bad.
hugger.
Yeah.
What?
Tree hugger. Green. Go green.
Oh.
Cool.
Brady bakes muffins. This is the last one. Brady.
Tom Baker.
Tom Baker. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. You didn't like that bit, huh?
Andy
No,
Milonakis?
I mean, I'm trying to at least dedicate the second half of the show to Carleezy, who's our guest.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask him.
Andy Milonakis is only $70.
You're all ignoring me.
On Cameo.
I ain't paying attention
Even
to
him.
you.
Cameo.
Our guest
I'm
is
just-
ignoring me.
Sorry.
My mic
Give
on.
me-
It's on.
What are you trying to give me?
I kind of like this
Yeah.
view here. Look, looks like
It's
I'm holding
nice.
a gun. Coming to get you.
What is happening?
This is a good video. I might play this
no,
every
no,
week.
this one. Mowing down
I'm
some
just saying.
gooks.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Did you just say gook?
Shit,
Dude,
gonna
we're
get-
going to
I'm-
get kicked off Bent Radio
I'm
now.
gonna get kicked right off of here.
What were you going to ask Carleezy?
Andy Milonakis is only $70.
I just wanted to ask.
Hey, did you hear him say Andy Milonakis is
What
only...
the fuck about
I don't
Andy
even
Milonakis?
remember who he is.
You don't know who Andy
I recognize
Milonakis
the name,
is?
but I don't remember what he's from.
Why do you keep bringing him up? He's on there?
Yeah, he's
For
on there,
$70.
That's ironic because retarded cop used to look like Andy Milonakis, I guess is what he said.
See?
Really?
Everything happens for a reason, and I was meant to tell you that so that you can go
But
by.
I hate Andy Milonakis. Like, I hated him when I...
It's so good.
I rock peas on my head, but don't call me pea
What else would
head.
you watch on MTV besides that show?
Well,
a
that's
great
pretty
show.
much the only thing that was on there at the time, but...
Pretty much.
Are you comfortable?
I am... My toes are so cold.
Is the Ruthanol kicking in?
Is
I'm seeing all sorts
Well,
of
I don't know if
yellow
I could do anything
spots.
about your toes.
You can't, and that's okay. It's just I don't really get cold, but if
I mean, are you comfortable in the
Wear
seat
socks.
there
Yeah.
and the microphone
Yeah,
and
wear
everything?
socks. Yeah, yeah.
Because I really kind of went out of my way to make you comfortable.
I don't
get
know
a
why you
blanket.
did that,
Let me
but
get
I
him a
appreciate it.
blanket.
No, I don't
Well,
want a
why don't you-
blanket.
no, get him a
I
blanket.
got this.
Swaddle
No,
him.
Get him a blanket.
I got this.
They're in the
I don't
middle.
want a blanket.
They're in the ottoman.
I ain't no bitch.
I want
Get him
to
a,
see
for your
Earl
feet.
swaddle.
At least get a blanket for your
want
feet.
My toes to freeze off.
No, you don't.
I do. I want to
But
have
anyway,
bad balance. I want to be like that person hobbling along with bad balance. Oh my god, this is.
He
this
likes
is,
to swaddle our dog in blankets. So
we
Is
know
that
one
practice?
major thing we forgot to announce in this show, and we're almost. I mean,
We're on a
almost
new
done.
network.
The first caller at 330-474-9833 gets a scratch-off
Yes,
ticket.
damn, I wanted to
about
say that.
It's right there on
How
Trello.
ironic would it be if Brian, what's his name? Mike nutted up and called and won money from us.
He wouldn't.
I
That would
was,
be awesome.
Oh, that
actually,
would piss me off so bad.
no,
Was I the last person to call for the scratch off?
no. Actually, Greg from Portland won $20
Yeah,
last
where's
week.
Greg? Greg probably doesn't know where we are.
He doesn't, Greg only had Instagram, so I got back on Instagram as Leroy and Earl, and I even emailed him, told him, hey, get on Instagram and give us a follow. But he
So
didn't.
you guys split it, or he just wins it all?
He won it all.
Oh damn!
Yeah, and he's our first winner. He won $20, and he never even confirmed that he got it. But
All right, well, just give that to me then, because I'm here.
Well,
so
we already gave him the money.
Studio
we got a
fee.
call
We're
coming
receiving
in.
a call.
It's really loud too.
I don't know how to answer it anymore.
Welcome to the Leroy and Earl Show. Who's this? Hello.
It's Greg.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Dr.
Nope,
Brown.
can't hear you.
No,
Dr.
you can't
Brown.
hear us.
No,
That
can't hear.
figures.
God.
Probably something got
Mother-
messed
you're
up.
Fucking.
Something got
You
messed
sound
up.
like you're in a blender.
Hmm.
Oh, so you
That
can
is
hear
an
us.
So you can hear
sound.
us, but we
So we
sound
got
like we're in a
Ninja
blender.
blender?
Yep, nope.
Sorry,
I can't
sorry.
hear you.
Sorry, no.
That's weird.
Okay, just
No
speak your
hablo
mind.
español.
Just
Yeah.
speak your
Yeah,
mind.
just say your
No
piece.
lottery card for you. Sorry.
Come on, you got to do the scratch off for
All
him.
right, I'll do the scratch off for you.
He can't. If you can't hear us, Dr. Brown, and right now I can't even
It's
imagine
okay.
what it would be.
Don't
Let's
beat
not
yourself
even
up.
try.
Yeah,
Let's not
screw
even
it.
try to figure it out. I'm
forgive
gonna
you.
let you know if you
Yeah.
won, and then fuck off.
Yeah.
I forgive you for this.
So that was Dr. Brown is calling in.
You hung
our
up on him.
No, we didn't call. He's still
Oh,
on there.
He's still on there. I
He's
can
still-
hear
you
him.
can't hear us. I can't. Like I
I'm
said,
kidding. I love you, Dr. Brown.
Yeah,
of course
he knows.
I do.
He knows you do.
Dr. Brown is one of our donators, actually.
He's one of our
sponsors. I
monthly sponsors. Dr. Brown. He's a doctorate of liftology from the University of Michigan. And
No winner.
Huh? No.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Sorry, Dr. Brown, you're not a winner.
All
Sorry
right,
about
here,
that.
let me scan that just to be proof. What are you doing? Why do you got to scratch
She's
off?
giving you the thing.
Oh, you're giving me the barcode.
Scan the thing away.
If I could just trust you, you know?
I believe in you.
So we had no problem with phone calls, and now all of a sudden we are.
Non-winning ticket. Shit.
It's probably because you have 4 mics set up. If you had
No,
3,
just hang up on him. Sorry, buddy.
He hung up.
Bye-bye.
He hung up. So, yeah.
We'll miss you.
I can't even.
Why do we got this reverb? Did you put that in there?
I did not do anything. Didn't change anything. It's not.
One day, we need to come and do this when it's not Wednesday.
But how many times have we done this that it wasn't? That it was fine. Last week was fine. We didn't have any problems
We've
last
done
week.
it like once. I think
No.
last week was the first
I
time.
think we've gone 2 or 3 weeks in a row. What do you think, Carleeezy? You listen to the show.
Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
That we
need
need
to come over on
yeah.
a Tuesday or a Thursday.
I don't disagree. Let's plan it.
What about a Monday?
Or just give me control of your house over the weekend.
You know the code?
You have a code?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Man code.
The man code.
This house is advanced.
We are
Oh, my
technologically
God.
advanced.
Is your house not grounded? As soon as I do that.
It's grounded.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Carleeezy. What do you do?
Hold on, let me.
You don't have to clean off the
Yeah,
top.
no, it's
This is a mic stand.
What do I do?
Are you allowed
in
to
real
tell
life?
us? Yeah, are you allowed to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I have a very private government job.
Okay, so you work in a private
Bullshit.
private industry.
I wonder if he does the
Work for
same thing the
privates.
face of Dave does.
I work for PSI.
You work for PS5?
PSI.
You took my job, didn't you?
PSI doesn't even
Is that why
exist
he
anymore.
got the orange mic?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't
cover?
even exist anymore. Do you know that?
Doesn't exist
Yeah.
anymore.
Because I took you down.
Jeez.
Got bought out by somebody else.
I have a fun job, though. I work in public transit.
Public transit, what do you do
Yeah,
for
the
them?
buses. So I am the guy who teaches people how to use public transit. So a lot of things people.
Is that like,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind, that was no, my thought was unwoke. I can't say it. See, I got
So-
nervous about saying it.
Let's say you move to a different place.
I was going to say white people.
And
You got to
your
teach
car, your car broke down along the way, right? So you're stuck. And you're like, oh, how the hell did I get around? You look at the local transit in the area. Oh, there's some shitty small one. Okay, I'm going to call them. Hey, can someone teach me how to use your shitty small system? Boom. Transfer it to me. I meet up with the person.
Really?
Show them the ropes. Give them a free couple of rides so they can get experience, and then they're off on their way.
Rides as in like piggyback rides or
No, like just tokens.
Don't you think your system may just be too complex if you need somebody to show up and teach you?
Dude, transit's just hard for everyone, it seems like.
Right.
I mean,
How's-
I've never had a problem with it, but when I went to New York to ride the transit, it was super confusing.
Complex. How is the transit business going with the rise of Lyft and Uber?
It's expensive. Uber and Lyft are expensive. If you're in a popular area, because I used to Uber drive too, another weird thing about me, they'll multiply the zones. So if you're near Cleveland, you're going to be paying like times 2, times 5. So you're paying like $20 to go down the street, like 2 miles.
Which is like the opposite for transit. The closer you are to the city, the cheaper it probably is.
It's like $2 and you can ride all the way across town or whatever. So I do full-time, part-time, a Twitch streamer. I do it like once every 6 months.
What do you stream on Twitch? Is that games?
Yeah. I usually play either a battle royale game or
What,
Rust.
Fortnite?
I did do that once. I did play Unknown Battleground once, and then I did. I like these tower defense puzzle games, so I did one of those. It's
like a
just
build a tower.
protect the tower.
Gotcha. What about PUBG or the new Black Ops?
PUBG, yeah, I do PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
I don't do I never done Call of Duty.
What?
I did one Call of Duty and I hated it.
What about the new one is like PUBG though?
They do have that the blackout. Yeah,
I just recently got that, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's more simplistic than PUBG. PUBG is awesome if you like hunting.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's looting, and then you die from a person who's way better than
45 minutes of running around,
right?
Running away from a blue circle that chases you for
Mhm.
no reason, and then getting shot in the face.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
By a 6-year-old kid
who's in China.
Okay,
playing
so don't you do what else do you do?
movie reviews.
You
It's
do
a big
movie
one.
reviews.
Yeah, we're back this year, and we've done one. We need to do another one. We're supposed to do it on Sunday, but just too busy. So we're probably gonna do that this week.
You said we.
Yes, me and my wife.
Oh, she helped you out with that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I thought if you did your research, you would know. But
Son
you
of a
know,
bitch.
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we both do them.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I never ever want to see the billing statement for how many movies we go see a year.
I was going to ask you how often you go.
You see more movies than anyone I know or have ever known.
Probably.
Ever.
It's so fun.
That actually sounds awesome.
Yeah, and we had the movie pass thing, so half of last year was free, but then the rest of it we were paying for. But like, I really, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's how I grew up, and like me wanting to be an actor, blah blah blah, or something like that. I just really enjoy seeing movies.
I do too, but I just don't enjoy the theater experience.
Is that what this is?
I love the theaters.
Just all an act?
This could be.
Is your name really
my
Carleezy?
sarcasm, he knows, my sarcasm is turned down. But
Right now.
I could be, way worse. I could totally be it. But I'm like,
I don't know if that'd be a good thing.
it would be bad.
That's why he may know the Jones guy from Columbus, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows?
He's so good at sarcasm that there's things he said for months I don't know. Maybe he does or doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, if you can produce. I mean, I said something about money, and he perked up, so
true.
he's probably going to call on, hey, this is Jones.
Hey, I'm not Carleezy at all.
He's going to imitate him. I can do it only on the phone, no video.
Yeah, here's my PayPal account.
$20, 20 minutes. That's all you get. But yeah, I never want to see my billing statement for how many movies I see.
Now, what about not just movies? Like the worst part, the movies are cheap. It's the popcorn and the drinks and everything else.
Oh, yeah, I have this crutch for Regal Cinemas has Cheetos flavored popcorn.
Really?
And they have Flamin' Hot Cheetos flavored popcorn too, and it's like $6 for like a small size, but it's because it's so special.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I get that every time. Sometimes I even go out of my way just to go to Regal.
What is the last movie you've saw, however
Glass.
that's pronounced?
Glass.
Glass?
What
is Glass?
A couple Fridays ago. Glass is the sequel to Unbreakable.
Is it a sequel or
Split.
prequel?
Sequel to
Sequel?
Split and Unbreakable. Yeah.
You taking those panties home with you?
I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna wear them to bed tonight.
Have we got any more messages or anything? You're not even paying attention, are you?
Questions for
No,
Lizzie
I'm
and
talking to
Review?
Dr. Brown and Michelle.
Tell him we're sorry about the phone thing. Gosh,
Yes, I did.
why can't stuff just keep working?
He asked if we wanted him to call back in, and I said no. We could hear you just fine.
Tell him to ask me a movie
We'll
question.
figure this out. Oh yeah, movie questions for
Yeah.
Carleezy. Send them in.
Yeah, anybody has a movie question for Carleezy?
Or let him know if he should wash his car or not in
Yeah.
negative degree temperatures.
Wait, Dr. Brown has a question. He wants to know, can I call into Carleezy's show to discuss Dragon Ball Super Broly?
Oh my God, he saw that? I love that movie. That's my movie of the year already.
Really?
Like, yeah. We saw it on a group of guys went to go see it. Packed out theater on a Wednesday night. And we went to go see it opening night, and I was completely blown away at how great it was.
You say packed theater. Are you talking like is this Dragon Ball Z? Is that what this is?
Well, so here's there's different sectors of Dragon
No,
Ball.
I don't know.
Okay, so there's Dragon Ball, which is everyone's a kid. They're young fighters. Then there's Dragon Ball Z, which is them becoming adults and super strong. And there's Dragon Ball GT, which no one talks about because that was such a bad series. And then there's Dragon Ball Super, which is only like 2 years old, 3 years old.
So there's got to be a Dragon Ball XXX somewhere. Film.
Maybe eventually.
Yeah.
So this was a Dragon Ball Super movie, which was amazing.
And that's how Dr. Brown just described it. He said it was amazing.
Amazing.
All
It was a good
caps.
movie.
Amazing.
Is there like when you go to these events, is Pokemon hunting still a thing?
I have no idea.
Because if I were the Pokemon creators, I would advertise that way. Like, okay, you can only find extreme Pokemon in this theater.
If you go see,
you got to buy a ticket to get in there to get the Pokemon.
Yeah, that would be good.
I gave up on Pokemon a long time ago.
I'm just wondering. Yeah, people. I don't know if people still do it or not.
People do. I mean, it's good for kids. They like it. But Fortnite's kind of the new thing that's taken over for every kid as far as video games go. But
that's their life.
Yeah, Fortnite's big.
There was actually a news article about divorce rates in England.
Oh God.
They have actually now tracked it to specifically blame a certain percentage on Fortnite.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
not
a
just playing
category
video
now.
games, a specific game. It wasn't a high percentage; it was like 10% or something of divorce.
Still,
but it was
yeah.
high. It was yeah. But to answer Dr. Brown's question, I don't believe Carleeezy takes calls during his reviews.
No.
He doesn't do them live.
No, but if you go to Carleeezy Reviews, you can comment on videos.
It's true. You could.
Would there be something you would ever be interested in, like doing live reviews?
After being here tonight, no.
No,
Weekly.
Me and my wife can't keep serious long enough. I always crack a joke at her, or I say something funny, she'll crack a joke at me about it, and it just doesn't work out. We have to record it. It's so many,
But
there's
that
so
could
many
make it
cuts.
great,
Yeah,
though.
that sounds like that'll be more
Look at what we're doing
entertaining.
here. We've been live since 7 o'clock, live on YouTube and bentradio.net.
Yeah, I think a lot of people pre-record their shows.
I would say,
that.
from my experience of on Twitter with other podcasters and listening to other podcasts, which isn't huge, but it's probably more than you, let's just say, I would say 80% pre-record. There isn't that many people that do a live show.
It's hard to get people together.
It's hard to do it, and I don't think people. There's a certain. To me, it's. I wouldn't do it any other way. Like it's part of the high of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of people do their show, and then they do a huge bunch of editing. Like all the stuff that I try and do with the music and the clips.
They don't do it live.
They do it.
They do it.
They
and then
sit
put it all
here and
together.
make it all perfect and everything.
So
And I
take
try to
all
do it
the
live.
anxiety out of it.
Right,
Make it look
right.
like supermodel, unrealistic.
It works, though. My favorite podcast is gone now. He sold it. It was called 10-Minute Podcast.
Your second favorite podcast.
Second favorite, yeah.
No, this is my favorite podcast. Okay, I'm a big Mad TV fan, and this was out of cast members from Mad TV. Will Sasso's
Right,
my
I know.
favorite, and they did 10-minute podcasts, and literally they were 10 minutes, and it was pre-recorded, and they had like a break and stuff in their intro, and it works. I mean, they're not going to take calls. That's kind of lame. And some people can't do the call thing.
Right.
Like you guys have a good setup where
not
can-
really.
well, people can call in if they wanted to, and that's like a more personal thing. But some people don't know how to work it like you guys have it set
Well,
up.
what we're doing is more like a radio show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what you hear on AM or FM radio.
Who listens to AM?
Every day I do.
Terrible.
I still listen to Rush Limbaugh.
Am I into science?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I'm
Moving on.
Science, like
you know, science.
Sci-fi movies. I like.
You like sci-fi?
Sci-fi movies.
Do you know
so
who? What's that guy that did that show, that kids show back in the day?
Bill Nye.
Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
Bill
Mr.
Nye.
Rogers.
I said did the kids show, not did the kids.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Mr. Rogers.
He did
No,
not
no,
do
no, no.
kids. He
The
got
science
caught
show.
jacking off in
Bill
a
Nye.
bathroom.
Mr.
The
Rogers.
science show. It's
Yeah.
not Mr. Rogers.
No.
Damn it, Bill Nye.
Bill Nye's a science guy. I think it was.
Yeah, he's still around. He's still doing
Yeah.
shows.
He
He's,
had a
He's
Netflix.
Not only is he still around, he's making a comeback or made a comeback.
He actually had a Netflix special or series that.
Right. So my
My
question
kids watched
is,
it.
you know who he is. You know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is.
Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, which guy's whiter? Neil deGrasse Tyson or
Which guy's whiter?
Yeah.
Bill
See,
Nye.
it doesn't sound right. See, I was gonna take that.
Where are you going with this?
I lost the joke. And you want to know why I lost the joke? Because
Why?
I was trying to be woke with the joke.
Don't be woke.
You would have. The joke would have been.
You were trying to be what?
woke. Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh, you can't
What I was just
revive
gonna
it?
say. So I'm having anxiety now. What?
Uh-oh.
Because I was gonna say originally my thought was I almost spit it out. Here's how this works. I almost spit it out. I was gonna say, do you Bill deGrasse Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson, black or white?
Black. He's black.
He's black.
He's white.
No, he's not.
He is black.
Why would you say he's white?
Because his name's Neil?
Because he has perfect English?
Look,
Is that what you're saying? Is that
he
where we're
probably
going with
doesn't
this?
believe in
All right.
race or genders because he's so.
No, he's going somewhere
Comedy.
with this.
No, I'm not. That's it. Comedy is everything about timing, and
And
I
you ruined it?
second guessed myself
Uh-huh.
because I'm in the presence of
Of an African American?
Yes,
Greatness.
So I second guessed myself on the joke, and then I thought to myself, a woke person would switch that around to a white who's more.
So you made it not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were
That's
woke.
okay.
Sorry, guys. Try to
It's
be
all right.
try to
Trust
be
me,
more woke.
My favorite comedian, Dave Chappelle, is there's nothing like off guard for him.
Well, yeah. He did a whole
he's-
bit about a family called.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Can't even say the
I
word.
love Dave Chappelle, by the way, and
Yeah, he's amazing.
he's a local. That'd be a
Yeah.
good one to get on Cameo.
He is.
Yeah, I'm sure he's ready to go on the podcast.
He's so what he does for his shows now, he like makes everyone put their phone in this like security bag before they enter in because he's like I can't even say jokes anymore before people record it and post it online and like get offended, and it's like I don't want
Right.
that. So no one can come in with their phones.
I
That's
seen
cool.
that recent.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Netflix or Hulu.
Probably Netflix. Oh,
I've seen
that his comedy specials.
He's one of my favorite because
and
he's
he
real.
And he throws the N word around like he was getting paid extra to do it.
And there's no way that he would do what Mike and them guys did. He's not that type of person.
No.
Here's the thing. Let's visit that real quick. You know what?
My stress levels.
You know, okay, so you're Mike, and you know you've had this show, Leroy and Earl, on your network for years. And another show says, "Hey, we saw this stuff about this show. We don't want to be part of it." Why wouldn't he contact us? Why wouldn't the first email be, "Hey, we know some of this stuff on your web." Maybe he was afraid. I bet that's what it was.
He's not an HR guy.
He didn't want to seem like a dumbass, like a snowflake pussy ass mofo.
Snowflake.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he instead of
Do you think the way we come off is a little intimidating?
Probably.
Like if somebody calls us and says something stupid, we're gonna call them out for it.
Yeah. They wouldn't survive.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know a person, it's
Well,
it's
he's known us for 2.5 years. He
Well,
should know
but,
us.
But
by now.
like every HR person hates, unless they're masochists, they hate firing people.
Well, he ain't
you
no
know.
HR person.
Right, exactly.
obviously.
That's what he said. He does not write a termination letter or whatever.
Right.
Let's end a shit show. Let's wait. Did you have more prepared?
I mean, I could, but I'm following
Would you
your flow.
do a cameo for us?
Cameo? What's that mean?
God damn it! Seriously?
What?
We've been talking about Cameo all night.
The website?
This is good.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Look,
You know how
it's going to be negative 30 degrees, and I have to get up from work.
Wow.
in the morning.
Yes. Okay. So before
It's terrible.
you go,
Does that make any difference? I mean, do you got to get up early to drive?
No, I don't.
Oh.
all right, let me get this over with.
Sorry.
Before you leave,
Wait.
we'd like you to say you're listening to the Leroy and Earl show in
I'm
your
not.
sexy
Do
voice.
it real sexy.
Nope.
We always ask our guests to do that, don't
Okay,
we?
I want to hear.
Well, not
I
always,
want to
but-
hear a shizzy first, and then I'll think about doing it.
The shizzy was not
She
prepared.
doesn't have a shizzy.
Oh,
She
well,
has a sushi.
Oh boy. Whoa.
She has a
Oh, you
sushi.
said
I
it
don't
wrong. Now
have
you
a
always-
sexy voice.
Oh,
Well,
I beg to differ.
You've heard things I have not heard.
I don't
as
think.
he as he twiddles his panties
Yes.
around in
No.
his fingers.
You've heard things I haven't heard.
Now you
before.
could just say, "You're listening to the Leroy and Earl show on the Bent Radio Network," like just in your normal voice,
You can improvise too
Okay.
if you'd like.
and you could maybe try and do like a Barry White thing, like you mentioned before. You're listening. I could help you out.
Yeah, sure, do it.
I could help you out a little bit.
Okay, do it. Do the thing.
Talk.
Yes. I'm
Say-
talking.
Oh, that's a devil
No,
voice.
not satanic.
It's
I
double
want to hear
voice.
his natural voice.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, look. People pay money for this.
And we're getting it for free. It's great.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to say?
Just say, "You're listening to the Leroy and Earl show on the Bent Radio Network."
I'm Carleezy, and you're listening
Yes.
to the Bent
Yes.
Radio Network.
Pretend like you're really famous.
Now, can you all look at me? Because that doesn't make things more nervous.
Do you want me to look away? Is that
No,
what you're saying?
just you keep looking at
I'm
me.
We could look
Carleezy,
away.
and you're
Okay.
listening
Yeah.
to the
I could
Bent
look at
I,
you.
Radio
Carleezy.
No, no, no.
You
Hold
gotta
on,
wait
hold
till
on.
everybody
Oh,
gets
sorry.
When he stops, you
Okay.
say, "I'm Carleezy,
Okay.
and you're listening to the Leroy and Earl show on the Bent Radio Network." It's easy.
Do I have to point
Don't
like
don't do any effects.
If it helps, I won't.
Yeah,
If it helps, okay. We'll look
Alright.
away.
Okay.
We'll look at the.
What
cool
am I
stuff.
saying again?
You can do it
You
as
can
many times
say
as you
you'll
want.
say you'll say I'm Carleeezy, and you're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show on the Bent Radio Network.
I'm Carleeezy, and you're listening to. That sounds almost like you. That was pretty good. That was very good.
Earl.
We're not even looking at you. We're not even looking at you.
Okay, I'm Carleeezy, and you're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show on bentradio.net.
Not even close. Try again.
What is it called? Bent
The-
Radio?
The Bent Radio Network.
Is it the Bent
No,
Radio?
you got the web address right, the
Yeah.
URL right.
Yeah.
But we don't want the URL.
We want the sexy.
We want.
There is no sexiness.
We want.
I'm Carleeezy, and you're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show on the Bent Radio Network. Like that,
Good.
dude, like that.
Try it like that.
I don't have a.
You can do it.
I don't have a sexy voice.
You-
Just
not
scream
sexy.
It. Just
Not
scream
sexy.
that shit.
Okay. So I'm saying it's serious again.
Yeah, serious is
Okay.
good.
Tuna's in a corner. This is scary. If you look under the green screen,
She
it looks like she's looking at.
On the camera, it's hilarious. Looks like you've been punished.
Okay. I'm Carleeezy, and you're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show on Bent. I keep wanting to say Bent Tree. There's a fucking coffee shop called Bent Tree.
The Bent Radio Network.
The Bent Radio
The
Network.
Bent Radio
Can
Network.
I do this as
if it helps you, yes.
Okay.
The Bent Radio Network.
Carleeezy, Leroy and Earl,
Bent Radio Network.
The Bent Radio
The.
Network.
That's right.
So
The.
that's what's confusing me.
The.
Okay. Ready? I need you to look away. Thank you. Okay. I'm Carleeezy, and you're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show on the Bent Radio Network.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
How's that?
Watch.
But I'm opening up to you all. I was actually Sean Connery.
Are you kidding me?
Bullshit. He's being sarcastic.
I was Sean Connery
He
this whole
wasn't-
time.
He
Prove
wasn't
it.
Sean Connery.
Prove it.
Prove it. Do the voice.
Do it.
I can't. You're
do
looking
that
at me.
Just
whole
say-
line again in Sean Connery.
Yeah, I want you to say the whole thing now.
I'm
Sean
not
Connery.
saying it in
Say,
Sean Connery's
This is
voice.
Carleeezy.
Did I fool you? Did you guys think?
Well, that was
Do you
pretty
think
good.
it was Sean Connery?
This is Carleeezy.
Because I
And you're listening to
fooled
the
you.
Leroy and Earl Show
That sounds more like
on the
Optimus
Bent
Prime.
Radio Network.
That's pretty bad.
I'm Optimus Prime.
Yeah, you're Optimus Prime.
You weren't Sean Connery. That was
I
the
had
real
no
Sean
clue.
Connery.
That
There
was
is
the real
no
Sean
way.
Connery.
There's no way anybody could
I'm
do that
actually hurt.
voice that perfect.
There's only a few voices I can do, and one of them is Sean Connery.
Let's hear it.
Just say anything.
Hello, this is Sean Connery. Perfect timing. Okay.
I'm
Fucked
Sean
up my
Connery.
performance.
No, you did.
So I just wanted to open up to you guys about that. I'm really sorry.
Well, why
for
are
all
you
the
why are you
confusion.
admitting this now? Why you?
Because a new leaf, new network. I gotta.
You know,
the
it's
old
like
old
saying
things are
you're-
gone.
That's like saying you're gay and not proving it. I want to hear something.
How would
I
you?
wanna see
Prove,
some
how would
action.
you? Have
You know how
someone
you would
prove
prove it.
Wow, you know how to prove it.
I don't think.
Don't lie.
I don't think that's.
Whip it
okay.
out. Let's hear that Sean Connery voice.
I did it as I got gargle burped.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It really came out of
I'm
nowhere.
Sean Connery.
And you're listening to the
He's
Bent
still
Radio
alive,
Network.
too.
He
That's
is. He's an old
Luke
man.
Dobbs.
So we're just feffing off now. We're gonna end the show or what?
Yeah, can we
What's
just
the
cut it
deal?
right there?
Before we end it, Carleeezy, do you want to plug your YouTube channel and your website?
Or something.
Yes, I don't have a website, but I will.
Oh,
plug
I'm
it,
sorry.
Yes. I do movie reviews every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Besides this last Sunday, which we're gonna put that one up late. Usually they're movie reviews, but we are going to try something new this year and do other things. Like, for example, our review on Glass is not going to be a review, but it's going to be a rant because of how bad that movie was. So we're pretty
So
negative.
I'll probably like it.
Yes, you'll probably like it. So sometimes we seem to be negative towards movies, and people hate that, whatever. So now, to word it correctly, it'll be a Carleeezy rant instead of a Carleeezy review.
Well, you guys are movie critics, so
Yes, but people don't like that.
sometimes you got to be critical.
Yeah. The
You're
biggest argument is,
you're
well,
not-
it's not real, so why are you getting so serious
Yeah,
about it?
you've got to be woke about movies,
That's
dude.
true. That's true. So it's Carleeezy Reviews. There's 3 E's in Carleeezy. Why is it that way? I don't know. It's been that way since like 10th grade. So it's Carleeezy
Is that
Reviews.
that's your real name?
No.
Oh, okay.
Close though. Very close. Same. It's Carleeezy R on Twitter, And that's it. I don't have a website. But
All right, that's the show.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks
That
for
is the
being
show.
on.
Hey, anytime.
Seriously, I had fun.
This was fun.
The
I love
timing couldn't have been better. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not why, but
I think
Can
my
I make
favorite.
a
Oh, sorry.
request?
Yes.
Sure.
I want to end the
show forever.
the soap opera. Not
The
I don't
soap
know.
opera with Strange Label.
Yeah.
Yes, actually,
Can
I was thinking
we
that.
Make an oath right now.
Oh, you're hitting that table
to-
hard.
Sorry, to leave it in the past, move forward with a positive attitude.
Are you saying we can't talk about that for 40 minutes the next episode?
I mean, I feel like we wouldn't gain any followers from it, but
I'm with her on this. I think that we should say that's it. It's the end of it on our end.
Oh my God.
We
Tuna.
apologize for anything we've done on our end.
Tuna is the voice
And we
of
wish you the
reason.
best.
She is.
Wow.
Now, I could wholeheartedly agree with you because even today I thought, do we even want to do this? But I thought, no, we got to do it. We got to get
Well,
this
we
out.
had to address it. Yeah.
Right. The only thing I would say, if something like new comes out when I listen to the show that's epic,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
going
we
to
have
talk
to talk
about
about
it.
that.
oh yeah, but I'm just saying not going back and dwelling on.
Yes, I am fine with
No,
moving
we're
on.
fine. We're moving
yeah,
on.
I mean, I'm going to listen to the show, and if they don't say anything new, then it won't come up again.
You have 7 watchers live on YouTube, by the way. That's
Oh,
pretty
that's
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
We're this episode is kicking off a new leaf.
It is a new leaf in the Bent Radio Network.
Sponsored by
The Bent
Sponsored
Radio
by
Network.
Discount Wheelies and Ohio Essentials. And you can
all
go to
.coms except for
all.coms,
Bent Radio
bentradio.net,
Bent
which is going to
Radio.
change in a couple months, right?
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It should.
BentRadio.net. I like that, though.
But it's people don't. It's
There's too many
People are like,
ETs
Com-
in there.
oh, Com's
There's
not
too
there.
Many ETs.
Bent
Bent one.
Radio.
Well,
Net.
I don't know if you know this or not, but you said
It's
you
just Bent Radio.
you
Net.
said you own bentradio.com, right?
I own BentRadioNetwork.com.
Okay.
So which is easier, BentRadioNetwork.com or BentRadioNet? Listen, they have cookies. Okay, all I got to do is put it in one time, and then as soon as they put the B in there, Bent Radio. Chuck.
Yes. Here's the thing. There are several Bent radios out there. Radio shows calling themselves Bent Radio. So my point is,
Oh.
BentRadioNetwork.com is probably better, but I would get both if you could get them both. But anyway,
That costs money,
that's
though.
a whole other thing. I would
Okay, well, I already own BentRadioNetwork.com.
and you're waiting for something, and you're
I
using
ordered
BentRadio.net.
it under a different provider, and they said, nope, you can't switch it for 60 days. So.
Oh, I got you. So we're going to go with BentRadio.net for the time being.
And then,
BentRadio.net.
and then once we change, we will go with both. I'll keep both.
Makes me furious.
What was that?
I'm scared.
What an ass.
All right,
Can we give a round of applause for Tuna for being the voice
yes.
of reason?
Thank you, Tuna.
Yeah.
You are the best.
Voice of
you are
reason.
the best.
We love you for that.
All right. So we're going to end the show right now.
Yay.
Again, bentradio.net, LeroyNoel.com, and us leaving the Strange Level Network, by the way, Shiftheads, doesn't change how you listen or download the podcast. It's still at LeroyandEarl.com. Nothing's different there because most of our, like Dildano and those guys, they're going to listen to it tomorrow. They're going to download it and listen to it on their podcast app or iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's not going to change. So this show will be up tomorrow morning because I'll work on it all night.
Will you get on Spotify eventually?
No.
Okay.
Because we play this.
So, you've been wondering, what will I do? I've been bombarded by spam from the Leroy and Earl crew.
The screen's been froze for hours.
It's true.
Yeah, that camera's froze.
Deeply in love with you. Would you go to the site today and lend us a like or two? What will people think of me? Am I weird or crazy? I love Leroy and Earl. You're funny and amazing. Leroy and Earl, you never once judge me. I'll listen to your podcast, but only because it's free. America and the rest of the earth too. Leroy and Earl.
Here's the
have a
message.
for you.
The message you were preaching about earlier.
Love everyone. Stop being so damn dumb.
We're killing everyone, and let's just have some fun.
Hi, this is Christopher Walken. Please go to Leroy and Earl's
.com.
.com and listen to their podcast. It's full of news, weather, and other useless shit.
All right, shift heads, we'll see you next week live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at bentradionetwork.com and live on YouTube.